2-0 United States. As if you haven't seen the goal, the first goal, it was actually knocked in by Cameron Burgess. Oh, you're like, oh, I know Cameron Burgess. No, you don't.
Don't know him.
He plays for Australia. He knocked it in for Team USA. So Cameron, now everyone's like, who's Cameron Burgess? Who's Cameron Burgess?
When did they pick him up?
He scored the first goal for Team USA, and you got to feel bad for the guy. You got to feel great for Team USA, but for all the Socceroos, the fans from Australia, they have to be just absolutely losing their mind when that happened. But then U.S. scored another one. Freeman scored at the 43 mark, and they're at halftime right now, 2-0. Again, they win this, they will get out of the group, and they will advance. So good stuff there. It's loaded today. The sports professor Rick Horrow will join us. Talk to business side of sports. UFC card at the White House lawn that pulled in 17 million viewers.
Ooh, wow.
We'll talk about the World Cup cash machine that's just rolling along in America, and the college money revolution that's continuing to be the big talk and changing everything. We'll also get into the bar room debate. If you could bring one retired player back in their prime, who's it going to be? Brady to the Raiders, maybe Randy Moss catching balls for Mahomes. We got our picks. We'll want yours too. So think about that. We'll get into that at 2 o'clock. If you could bring one retired player back in their prime, who would it be? It doesn't have to be Arizona. It could be anyone. Many of you diehard Arizona Cardinals fans would love to have Kurt Warner come back, maybe. But who's he going to throw at you? Anyway, D-backs are home tonight against the Twins. A 25th anniversary of the 2001 title. So we ask, do these D-backs have the 2001 grit? Plus realignment, the whisper nobody's talking about. Could Arizona finally escape the Dodgers? We'll dive into that. We have U.S. champion Steve Jones will join us. We'll get his thoughts. We got some police blotter today. We're going to start doing that on Fridays. But a full show today with Roc and Manuch at Wright Toyota. State 48 roofing question of the day. Tiger, Jack, Hogan, or player? Who do you want on the last hole to win the Open? So you can go vote at our Twitter page at Roc and Manuch.
Yeah, you look at the Twins coming in town, and everybody's going, well, it should be smooth sailing. Oh, this Diamondback team should win this series, hopefully. Well, folks, the Twins have won. They won 4 in a row and 5 out of the last 7. So they're starting to gain a little momentum. They crushed the Rangers last night, so they come in. So hopefully with this Diamondback ball club, you're looking at a couple things. Tonight you get the start. You got Soroka, and then you got 3 guys that have struggled within the last, I'd say month and a half. Zach Gallen, Ryan Nelson, and Merrill Kelly. Rodriguez won't be around until next Tuesday against St. Louis. So Soroka, Gallen, and Nelson have got the series for this Diamondback team. So hopefully Soroka, who's just been outstanding for this Diamondback team, and also in the National League, a good chance, hopefully they win. But with Gallen and Nelson, those are a couple of big question marks. So, just heads up, this Twins team who's finally starting to get a little momentum, won 5 of the last 7 and 4 of the last row. So I think for the Diamondbacks tonight, you'd love to see them win another series before they head on the road and get that consistency in place before they hit the road against St. Louis and a very tough Tampa Bay team.
I think, Twins look at this too. They're playing a 500 team in the D-backs, so they're coming in saying, hey, this is an opportunity for us to take 2 or 3. Weather's not an issue. There's no challenges with inclement weather or anything. You're playing in a stadium with a roof on it. This is a good place for both teams.
Sure.
They're both probably looking at the same.
I think, and that's why I think it'll be a good series. Father's Day, I believe that game will start with 12:15 on Father's Day. It'll be a nice little Father's Day victory for a lot of the D-back fans. But I agree, Roc. This is kind of at that point of the season when you look at a lot of teams as far as, they could be looking at potential buyers. They could be sellers. But I think up until that All-Star break, a lot of teams somewhat determine, hey, where do we go the next 3 weeks? We got July was the 13th or 14th is the All-Star game. They've got a good 3 to 4 weeks to somewhat determine. And then they'll have another 2 weeks after that, August 3rd is the trade deadline, and how they're going to kind of set their season up. Mike Hazen reported it looked like he's going to be a buyer, which I love seeing that. And I mentioned about a week ago, I said, well, if he's going to be a buyer, I would definitely go get another bat for now. I think a bat and a reliever.
Shocker.
Well,
that's some breaking news.
Well,
Good job on that.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
You reported that a couple weeks ago?
No. Well, I talked the reason why. When they were in the slump, they were.
They had no offense. Clearly.
Well, no, that's the key. They had no power.
Yeah.
With their offense. So they need a power, a bat that can take it out of the yard once in a while. And I think the main reason why is, okay, you got Corbin Carroll and Marte are pretty much your home run hitters. Arenado, again, he's a disappointment from the power side. The other thing is Nolan Arenado, as well as he's playing third base, he's one of the leaders in lack of runners in scoring position. You watch game after game after game. If there's one thing you would love to see Nolan Arenado do is with guys at second base, be more productive at that spot as far as runners in scoring position. Guy's a hell of a fielder, but I think right now the Diamondbacks are going, look, as long as he can drive in a few runs here and there, then we can go and get that value out of him. But on top of that, I just think if you get one more bat with a guy that can take it out at any particular time, that's great. Now, Gurriel, he's one that can do it, but he's been off and on. I mean, he can't stay healthy. Came back off the injury. Now he's back. Pavin Smith, that can take a yard. He's just now getting his land legs underneath him after being out for so long. There's so much spring training. They've got guys that can go yard, but there's nobody consistent that can go yard in that lineup. And I think that's one of the priorities they're going to need when it comes to that trade deadline.
All right. So on the national level, Wyndham Clark is in command at the U.S. Open after two rounds. He set a 36-hole scoring record at the course yesterday, finishing 6 under 64. He followed it up with 1 under 69 today. And he says that he believes even par could be enough to contend this week. That's what he said when he started. So the 2023 U.S. Open champion, is out there with a commanding lead. You got some of the notables with Schauffele, Fitzpatrick, and Higgs all in the second spot. Some other notables, Morikawa, Keegan Bradley, Justin Thomas, and Rory McIlroy all in that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 area. So it's great for Saturday, Sunday. And if hopefully some of these guys like, Schauffele is second, with 3 under, a bunch of guys 3 under, but with Wyndham Clark having a 4-stroke lead, he can maybe cruise unless somebody else gets hot. I mean, it's all going to have to do with the weather and how the course is going to play. We'll talk to Steve Jones later in the show, get his thoughts on what do you think Wyndham Clark's mindset is. He's got a 4-stroke lead right now. Sure, there's some guys still out there playing. Harry Higgs is -4 today, and he's only through 12, so he's having a hell of a day right now. He opened with a 71, so he can make some noise. He's currently tied for second, so you can see him go up.
You talked about Morikawa. He shot a -5 today. Shot the 73 yesterday, the 65 today. So far, Morikawa, and with Higgs making a run at that. But, I mean, watching Wyndham Clark, he is just piping it, stroking it down the middle, and he's throwing it within, 10 to 12 feet of the pin on his second or third shots in. So, you watch Wyndham Clark come into this tournament, one of the hottest golfers coming into this tournament. You mentioned he won it on 2023. Having a chance to watch him the last month and a half, I mean, this is a guy that if he can keep his game together, I mean, he might break some records. But my whole contention is, I wonder if the USGA allows this course to dry up a little bit. The winds have seemed to calm down today, as they did yesterday late. They calmed down, and Clark was the benefactor of that. If they water him or they allow him to stay slick and land in like ice. But good to see him. See, you got one record, as you mentioned, for 36 holes. Can he set a record? He won't set the U.S. Open record, but I mean a record there at Shinnecock.
All right, big Friday at the World Cup, and the host countries are flexing. USA up 2-0 on Australia at halftime. Same Australia side that knocked off Turkey last week. Mexico's already punched its knockout ticket. Canada, they dropped a half a dozen. So we're going to play you the goals next in our Lerner Row replay rewind. Just getting started again, as I mentioned, we're out here at Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price, Wright Toyota. I know right now Twin Peaks is booming. because of the watch parties at all 5 locations. So if you're looking for a place to watch the second half, sneaking out of work if you had to work today, you can head over to any of the 5 locations. So get another replay rewind next. It's Roc and Manuch from White Toyota.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
You push hard, you train hard. Shouldn't your soda work just as hard? Meet Hunu, the superfood nutrition soda packed with whole vitamins, electrolytes, and antioxidants. Only 5 grams of natural sugar. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. Voted the #1 soda for athletes. Whole food nutrition, great taste. That's Hunu. Go to HUNUsoda.com and use code ESPN for 10% off your first order. Hunu Soda, soda that's actually good for you. HUNUsoda.com. Code ESPN. When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Home. It's more than a place. It's love, laughter, joy. It's where we belong.
Home is wherever you are, buddy.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you're not only giving them a home, you're finding yours too. You're finding love, laughter, and an unbelievable new best friend. Adopt your very own crypto. Visit bestfriends.org/Supergirl. And together, we will save them all.
Right in the heart of Arizona Athletic Grounds, one of the largest youth sports complexes in North America. Bristol's is the ultimate hangout for families and sports fans in Mesa. Come experience amazing double-decker cheeseburgers, award-winning wings, smoked barbecue, and fresh, craveable salads. With seating for 500, a full bar, 20 beers on tap, and over 100 TVs, happy hour Thursdays, Friday and Sunday from 4 till 6, plus trivia night every Thursday night. Bristol's, where Mesa comes to eat, watch, and win.
Finding yourself skipping your self-care routine, experiencing things around you others don't, or withdrawing from friends and family. You might be experiencing first episode psychosis, or FEP. Stress, trauma, substance use, even genetics can trigger it. And if you're in your late teens to mid-20s, it's impacting you more than others. Know the signs of FEP. Go to learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MatForce, working to build healthier communities.
Now, it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, let's get to our Learn and Row replay rewind. Rick Horrow, Sports Festival, joins us in about 13 minutes before the kickoff in Seattle. By the way, 2-0. USA up on Australia in Seattle. Fox caught up with the head coach from Team USA, Pochettino, or is it Pochettino?
Pochettino.
Pochettino. And he was not taking the Socceroos lightly. Remember, Australia is the team that beat Turkey in the group opener, which was an upset. So here he is on what makes the Socceroos such a tough out.
Australia is a very good team, very well organized, very aggressive team, good player, great coach. When the opportunity that we play in Denmark, I told him he's doing a great job in Australia. In Australia, we need to remember that 4 years ago in Qatar, only they were beaten with the 2 finalists, France and Argentina. And I was in the Argentina game, and they were really, really well. That's why they are doing a fantastic job, very good players, and it's going to be a tough game tomorrow.
Mauricio Pochettino. Now, if it's double C, it'd be a ch in there. So Pochettino. Connect the Italian way. Mauricio Pochettino.
All right, U.S. Got on the board early, 11 minutes in. All that American pressure forced the issue. In the end, it ended up being the back of the net off of an Australian defender. 1-0. Good guys. Listen.
Balogun, it's a step up. Shirkani. Balogun to the byline. Balogun into the middle. It's the United States once again on the board early. Ricardo Pepe was in. Was it perhaps last off the defender? Who cares? It's 1-0 U.S.
Yeah, who cares? You know, I'm going to have to do. I'm pretty superstitious, right?
Uh-huh.
So I normally last week I wore the pullover when I went to a certain place.
Okay.
Now today I went into a particular pizza place, and my first bite of my slice is right when they scored. So I will go there next week, next Thursday, and have a
let
slice.
the superstitions continue in your life there, Roc.
All right, then the USA doubled up. Serhiniotis ripped one into the box. It took a wicked deflection, and Alex Freeman is right there to pounce.
The picture review. The goal scorer was not in offside position.
And the building shakes in Seattle. Alex Freeman's third international goal for the U.S. He is onside, and he reacts first to this ball. Doesn't stop. Patrick Beach is on the floor, and it's Freeman from close range. Beats him. The right punch almost coming, but it's Freeman who punches it home for the United States' second goal to give them a 2-goal cushion from almost going off the field to staying on the field. What a moment for that young man, 21 years old.
Gotta love that. I mean, and think about that. I mean, just the absolute gorgeous weather. What a great day there in Seattle for all those fans up there. But just to see the eruption, and you just hope that this team can hold on up 2-0 at halftime, but just continue to move it forward and get to that knockout round, Roc. That'd be fun to get to that knockout round.
So Mexico was the very first team in the entire tournament to clinch a knockout spot. Here was the one goal against South Korea, and that is all they needed.
Jimenez is waiting for the cross. Jimenez was trying to guide it. That was a good header behind it by Leaky. Shooting on the goalkeeper. Drops it. It's over. It's a double lead. Luis Romo. Terrible mistake by the South Korean goalkeeper.
Yeah, not good for the South Korean goalkeeper there. And again, Mexico is moving on. And then up in Vancouver, Canada, Canada was playing Qatar. The final was 6-0. And here is a montage of a couple of goals from the rout.
Standing over it. Now Thompson. That's a flip for Canada.
Buchanan to Johnston at the byline, driven low, and then back for take shot. Buchanan here. Buchanan's turn shot comes back for Schaffelberg. Schaffelberg shot. The Qatar defender. And Canada, another 5-star showing in downtown Vancouver.
You know, we watched that game yesterday, and when Qatar got down to nine players, I said this is probably a 5 or 6 burger. Sure enough, and David with the hat trick, just to see these guys go up and down the trick. And I did not see the compound fracture break, Roc. I saw he went down.
Pretty, guys. It was really bad. You could. I
didn't want to see it. Oh, I didn't want to see it. Seen enough of those breaks in slow motion. Didn't need to see it. So, unfortunately, ended up with 9 guys, and Canada taking advantage of it.
All right, D-backs are smack in the middle of another wild card dogfight, sitting about a half a game back in that final playoff spot. The clock is ticking towards the trade deadline. So the big question, do they buy or do they ball like they did last summer? Team president, CEO Derek Hall, he went on the record this week, and he made it clear that they want to buy players. They want to be buyers. But with payroll already at an all-time high, he said that the front office has to be careful. And here he is explaining that on Wednesday. And I believe where was this cut?
On Bickley and Murata yesterday morning.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
We talk every day, and Mike and I both believe we're going to be buyers, and we want to be buyers. I mean, we need to go into each season thinking that we're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, but we believe in this team, and we think we're going to be in a position to do just that. And as you guys said the other day, and it's so true, every trade deadline, even if we're buyers, we do it in a different way. We're buying, yet we're selling a little bit too, because, we're at an all-time high with payroll right now. We have been the last couple of years, so we got to be careful there. Yet we want to invest in this team if they have a chance to win, and we think they do.
And you think of last year, they sold off, they traded off Merrill Kelly. Naylor got traded off, as did Suarez. They both go up to Seattle. And this team, they hung in there for a while, surprisingly. They were in the hunt up until, 2 weeks to go for the wild card, one of the last wild card spots, and they started to fade. I believe Cincinnati overtook them. But you got to believe that if they keep everything as it is, whether you get another bat, whether you get a bullpen guy, I think for now, the whole Zach Gallen is still a question mark for right now. If they don't see any improvement, I think at that point at trade deadline, maybe they look at making a move with him if anybody want him. There's one of those legitimate contenders that's looking to win the American League or National League pennant. He might be one of those guys that somebody might pick up. But what you get in return is going to be very, very interesting for one Zach Gallen, since it's just a 1-year deal. So I'm excited to see this team, just get a little more consistent. I think they'll be in the hunt with about last 2 weeks of the season for that last wild card spot.
So last 2 weeks.
That's it. That's like the last 3 years we've seen it come in the last 2 weeks. Matter of fact,
I would like to have a little bit more breathing room.
I agree, but I don't, unless they can get on a roll those last 3 weeks where they're like in the first or second in the wild card situation. But I mean, in the last 3 years, it's come down to the last day, and we've seen it. You would love to see some breathing room by taking these series 2 out of 3, going on the road and winning a series against the Cardinals team in Tampa, to give yourself some breathing room to get into a legitimate spot in that wild card.
So I stumbled yesterday on Moneyball, and there's a scene in Moneyball which is outstanding. It's GM and the side guy. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah. His accountant that came in.
Yeah. The kid from Yale, right?
With the glasses and everything.
And it was all about, and it kind of plays into it, and what Derek Hall has to do is the goal is to buy players, is to buy wins. And I just thought about that. It's the analytics and all that stuff, which we all are against. So we had Renee Latchman on yesterday. Yep. We were talking about this, but it just as ironic that wasn't much on last night. So I just stumbled on Moneyball, and of course that's one of my favorite movies.
Sure.
And here's that scene. If you're ready to go, Laz, I just gave it to him last minute. I was like, I forgot. I would just play it, but it's so true though. I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you really listen to this, and the writers of this movie clearly knew what they were doing.
Run ball clubs, they think in terms of buying players. Your goal shouldn't be to buy players. Your goal should be to buy wins. And in order to buy wins, you need to buy runs. You're trying to replace Johnny. The Boston Red Sox see Johnny Damon and they see a star who's worth $7.5 million a year. When I see Johnny Damon, an imperfect understanding of where runs come from. The guy's got a great glove. He's a decent leadoff hitter. He can steal bases, but is he worth the $7.5 million a year that the Boston Red Sox are paying him? Baseball thinking is medieval. They are asking all the wrong questions, and if I say it to anybody, I'm ostracized. I'm a leper. So that's why I respect you, Mr. Bean. And if you want full disclosure, I think it's a good thing that you got Damon off of your payroll.
Where you from, Pete?
Maryland.
Where'd you go to school?
Yale. I went to Yale.
What'd you study?
Economics. I studied economics.
Yale, economics, baseball. You're funny, Pete.
I love it.
Great
Billy
scene.
Bean, yeah, outstanding.
The other side, just funny. It's must be in rotation. I saw it too. Was when he came in, when Brad Pitt and this guy came in to sit down with Art Howe, the manager, and he goes, "Hey, I got to talk to you about your lineup." He goes, "Lineup's set. Lineup's all. We're all good to go." He goes, "Well, we got a couple changes." and she just knock on the door, and it's Jeremy. What's his last name? The first baseman. The brothers played together.
Yeah.
Anyways, he goes, Johnny. Yeah. So he comes in. He goes, hey, Jeremy. Love you, buddy, but we just traded you to Boston. And here's Art Howe, the manager. Forget the guy's name who played Art Howe. And he looked at him and said, what? And then he sat down and goes, you're not playing so-and-so and so-and-so. And he's like, why not? He explained the whole economic thing because, well, we're going to get more value out of this guy than these guys. And there's several times, to your point, Rock, that he had to sit down. Remember at the table with all the scouts and everybody like that?
Yep.
Telling them
well.
this, and this. And that kind of, wow. And then Howe was like, okay, know your bread's butter. Just walked out. He said, that's the deal. That's where we're going to go with this.
All right, today's Replay Rewind is brought to you by Lerner Row. Interacting to check. Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always at lernerrow.com. All right, the guy that breaks down the business side of sports, everything behind the games, Rick Horrow, the sports professor, will join us next. We'll get into the UFC Wild White House Payday, World Cup, the cash machine, and everything else. It's all coming up after Lads gives us a Father's Day version of the Twin Peaks Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. Wyndham Clark is in firm control early on at the U.S. Open after firing a 6-under round yesterday to build a 4-shot lead over guys like Xander Schauffele and Matt Fitzpatrick, who are among those tied for second place at 3 under par. Meanwhile, Team USA has picked up right where it left off last Friday, jumping out to a 2-0 lead over Australia in their second group stage match of the World Cup. In the MLB, the D-backs open a 3-game series tonight against the Twins at Chase Field, and Michael Soroka will get the ball for Arizona with first pitch set for 6:45. You can catch all the action on our mothership 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This Father's Day, treat Dad to a place built for him. Twin Peaks, Sunday, June 21st, buy 6 wings and get 6 more free. And here's the move. If you buy Dad a man card between the 8th of June and the 21st, you'll score a $5 bonus card to spend later on this summer.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Cars aren't the only vehicle on our roads.
Arizona drivers, don't forget to look out for motorcycles. That means checking your blind spots. Motorcycles are hard to see, day or night. They move and stop quickly, too. So keep your distance whenever you see them. And stay focused on the road, not your phone. Make sure you're protecting everyone on our streets. Stay on the lookout for motorcycles. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Time to talk about the business side of sports. Leading expert in the business of sports, author of the new bestseller, The Sport Business Handbook, host of Power of Sports, and architect of over 100 deals worth billions in sports, the sports professor Rick Horrow joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, again, USA 2-0 over Australia, 66 minute. So it's coming down to the end. Joining us now, Rick Horrow. Just heard the big voice guy. How we doing today, Rick? Happy Friday, bud.
Good. You're too American to use nil. You don't have the right to use nil. It's 2-0. Although
I was born in Philadelphia. I am more American than anybody that's listening right now. Born right in Philadelphia Methodist Hospital, just down the street from the Liberty Bell. Come on.
That's pretty American there.
Is that American, Rick?
Way too much information. But I will tell you this. I've been to three World Cup venues already. Got home yesterday, going to Miami next week, but then Boston for the round of 32, and then New York on the 5th. And guess where I'll be on the 4th? In Philly for the World Cup game. That is going to be astronomical, man. I'm just telling you. That is amazing.
Can't imagine.
Got tickets, but for parking, it's like twice as expensive as the tickets. Plus, you can get one of those pedo machines or a rickshaw for like $4,500. That'll get you into the stadium. But they put up the perimeter. Think 104 Super Bowls, right? I mean, that's exactly the way these things are set up, and the security gets more intense as the rounds get more, I guess, intense. You would make the argument, and getting your tickets, people think, man, we've got it. That's half the battle. Even if you get them, let's say, from a source like FIFA, and you don't pay for them, let's just say. And but I am, as you know, a very important parking aficionado, having been your broken promises for years. So parking is very important.
All right, so we want to live vicariously through you as we do each and every week. You come on the program. You've been to a bunch of these venues. Can you compare it to Ohio State at Texas or, I don't know, Alabama, Auburn? I mean, is there a comparison?
Interesting dynamic because it's good examples, not professional sports. I guess professional sports, clearly, some NFL. Ironically, I was in Seattle for that Egypt-Belgium 1-1 tie on Monday, and that place is crazy. No matter who's playing, witness what's happening right now as we're in a hydration break, which is now a standard deal. Everybody in the world is going to be using the term hydration break to define when they're tired. That's going to be interesting. But at the end of this, Vancouver was amazing because that was Canada's approach to all of this. I chose the wrong game because I wish I was at the Vancouver game last night when Canada, put it on Qatar. But I guess the answer to your question is the incredible intensity. But let's also remember that other than the U.S. games, these are foreigners coming over here with some expats and flying over and watching with an amazing American hospitality, and it still is just unbelievable excitement. Although I will say it's been fun. BC Place in Vancouver is fine because they kept BC Place. I don't know how they justified that. But $150 million to provide infrastructure around Seattle for their stadium, but they forgot to allocate money, so they put a big masking tape over Lumen. So it's blank field.
Yeah,
right?
saw that.
Pictures. Stupidest thing I've ever seen because they think that marketing helps. And then I was in Dallas yesterday for the Croatia-England game, which was amazing. And they must have gotten some losers to go up to the top of the roof and put some Scotch tape over AT&T because there was no AT&T on there, which, you know, if everybody knows it's AT&T Stadium, I understand FIFA's requirement to protect their own brands, but this goes way beyond the call.
Did you see, Rick, what they did in Levi Stadium? They basically cut out the Levi logo, like the way that it's like it's horizontal, then it kind of goes down a little bit. It's got little I don't know, corners on it. So it was basically the patch, but it was white. But it was basically brilliant that they kept the brand logo in a way.
Yeah, well, and that's what AT&T did. Their logo is distinctive. You cover it up, but you cover up only the logo with some masking tape. So, you know, everybody thought it was kind of goofy. And I'll see what they do with Hard Rock, because they also have a lot of signage that they've covered up inside as well. And obviously Gillette, I thought they would make them take down the lighthouse because they're just that's the way they are. But they didn't. They left it alone. That's okay.
How about the Mercedes Dome there in Atlanta? They wanted them to take that bad boy off the top, but did they end up finally just covering that up as well?
Yeah, they told Infantino that if you want to do it, get on a goddamn ladder and do it yourself. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Take it off, right? Yeah. There is enough leverage now where enough people are saying enough is enough. Because let's remember that everybody loves it. Got $900 million of economic impact on average per city. 100,000 people per game going in. It's amazing. You know, cities that chose not to do it are now lamenting not doing it. And each city is getting 6-7 matches, and we haven't even stepped up because most of the matches that matter are going to be around 32 and 16. And then obviously Jerry Jones gets upset because he thought he had opening and closing, got neither, but he did get the semis, so that'll be good for him. But when you think about it, this is something that has so far over the first week gone off without a hitch. And I know there's a lot of cynicism about major events right before it opens. You know, facilities aren't great, or a bathroom window is cracked, or the color scheme is wrong. But at the end of the day, it became incredible. And just walking the streets of Vancouver, and look, Canadians are not used to anything other than abject mediocrity, but now they have a moment to shine. What?
Ouch.
What?
When's wow, like that little shot at the Canucks up north. Hey, when's the last time we've seen three countries, Mexico, USA, Canada, have this kind of economic impact with sporting events? Is this like the first ever where you talk about the big bucks, Rick? I mean, per city. I mean, look at Guadalajara, look at Mexico, look at Vancouver, Toronto, the States. Is this a first?
Well, it's a first in terms of a combined effort,
right?
Because Korea, Japan did it, and frankly, it's an American event basically. But the two games, make no mistake, Toronto, Vancouver, just absolutely incredible as far as the games they're having and going to have. The same in Guadalajara, Mexico City, but it's 11-2 and 2, 11 America, 2 Mexico, 2 Canada. And the 15 cities are all really taking advantage of it. And some of the cities that you don't expect are, the top destination tourism-wise, like Kansas City. We know Kansas City is an incredible soccer center. And so, the Hunts, because of their commitment in Dallas and because of the commitment in Kansas City, went the extra mile. And that's what they got. The ticket prices are now up 118, I think, percent. As the U.S. and everybody else looks better. There was a big dip, remember, because right before the tournament, everybody was thinking that there wouldn't be that big an increase in ticket price. In fact, some decrease. But as soon as the tournament started, as soon as we saw the spectacle on TV, ticket prices up about 100, 115, 120%. And as I said, if you want to get in the parking business, you're as good at, Rick Horrow, he's our guy. He's there every week. We recruit him. Don't pay him a lot, but he's a sports professor. Right now, you can keep going. What do you want to say?
I was going to ask, how do they determine that, all right, the final match goes to New York, New Jersey, and the runner-up, the bronze, went to Miami? How do they determine that?
Political, and it's part of the negotiating process. how did they determine that the opening game is in Mexico City? Because they want to make sure they throw that bone to Mexico and that bone to Mexico City. And then Stephen Ross, a little upset because he thought he would get one of the big ones. Miami, clearly an international tourist destination. There are some dollars and commitments from FIFA to FIFA to make sure that the games are the primary games. And let's remember, if assuming Canada wins its group, which they already did, they're going to play their first round of 16 and 32, and if they win round of 16 in Vancouver, Mexico and Mexico City, and assuming the U.S. holds and they win their group because of another circumstance tonight, they'll end up hosting somewhere in the U.S. We'll see, or somewhere in the U.S. So there's a lot of marketing sophistication that goes on here, even though people look heavy-handed, they really do know what they're doing.
Rick, so what's going to be the economic impact with, you alluded to, the last game in New York, New Jersey. You got the Knicks coming off their world title. What are we looking at for the month of June, July for just the city of New York or the surrounding area with economic impact?
Well, and how about the parade yesterday?
Sure,
How about cleaning all the crap up off the streets for the parade? That's economic impact too.
Yeah,
and when it is, and it is it's an unbelievable situation for American sports, for North American sports, and also it's who'd have thought that the Knicks were going to do what they're going to do? And let's look at the economics as well now, because you see that Dolan and MSG may end up splitting the holdings of MSG, allocating the Knicks asset to one company and the Rangers assets to another, and the Garden and the media company, and the value of their stock went up 101%. So in the last month, also because of the value of the Rangers and what the Knicks have done. So we're not going to hold a bake sale for Jim Dolan and MSG.
Last one, Rick. When it's staying with New York, 10,000 police officers were deployed. Of course, to clean up everything that you mentioned. How does that all work? You got a very interesting mayor there. Depending on what side you are, if you like him or not like him, or what he's doing or not doing. But is any of the costs, does the team ever get charged for any of this stuff?
Well, there's a lot of discussion about that issue. It'll never be major public because there will always be the let's readjust our lease. The difference in New York, of course, is that the costs. Who knows what the ultimate costs are going to be? But every time you have post committee bidding on an event, you also realize that the team will commit some money to the bidding of the event as well. And that's where a lot of it gets taken care of. But believe me, nobody anticipated. Oklahoma City had a huge parade last year, but I guarantee it was nothing like New York.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, enjoy. Be safe up in Boston. That's rough up there in the Northeast.
Yeah, well, I don't go into the places that you have to go into. I stay away from those kind of things.
Well, because they run out of beer. I go to places where they got beer in Boston. They run out when there's a World Cup.
Scotland, Brazil.
It's awesome.
Next week here in South Florida. That's a big one. And go to Boston. None of you guys would survive 10 minutes in Boston. I think.
I know. About that. All right. That's why I'm doing.
Hey, Rick, happy Father's Day to you as well.
Happy Father's Day, Rick.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I think we're. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Unfortunately, I love sitting back and watching the Open. If Wyndham Clark keeps playing this way, I may just go out and fuck off myself. See.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Rick. Have a good weekend.
You too, man. See you next week.
That's the business professor. Of course, the sports professor, Rick Horrow. You can follow him at Rick Horrow and Rick Horrow Adventures. Always nice stuff, man. He's been to three. I'm in a pool, and there's a very small chance that I will be selected to go next Thursday.
Very nice.
You'll have me
Wow.
covered, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got you, Rock. So you'll be on assignment. Yeah, you'll be on assignment.
What's that?
Who you got in the pool?
No, it's a pool with a business that I'm involved in.
I thought you were like picking
my
a
real life. No. It has to do with going to see USA play Turkey.
Oh, it'd be nice.
So far.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sure you'll give us a
fingers
report.
crossed.
You'll give us a report.
Yeah, I mean, I
Absolutely.
need to take 3 other people, but you guys, somebody needs to keep the show on.
Yeah, well,
so
I'll be more.
I'll call in though. I'll call in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Uncle Sam needs to know I'm
Make-
working.
Make sure your accountant's listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, the NFL is officially in the summer danger zone. Mini camps are over. Training camp's a month away, and teams are just hoping nobody gets hurt or goes viral for the wrong reason. By the way, we got police blotter later. We'll get into all that next. It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner & Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Action! When I grow up, I want to be a director because they get to talk to everybody about everything. They get to make cool movies and dance music videos.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a defect of the immune system that affects millions. Early testing can give children a chance to dream.
And when I'm a director, I get to say, lights, camera, action.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
That's a wrap.
With Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, on this day in sports, 1846, the first very first organized baseball game under modern rules was played in Hoboken, New Jersey. It's right outside of New York. And it wasn't even close. The New York 9 ran the Knickerbockers right out of the building, 23-1. So next time somebody complains about a blowout in June, relax.
1846?
It's been going on a long time.
Wow, man.
And then in 2011, a young man by the name of Rory McIlroy, only 22 years old, put on one of the greatest performances Scott has seen at the U.S. Open at Congressional. 16 under par, 8 shots cleared the field, and he set or tied a dozen Open records along the way, including the lowest score in the championship history. And a kicker, he did it on Father's Day, then walked off 18 straight into a hug from his dad. And it was the first of now 5 career.
Yes, nothing better than that. Went on Father's Day. You know, Rocky got it's kind of like kick-started majors. We expected this kid's on a roll. He and Tiger will go back and forth, and he just, he'd win one, and then he just kind of waited, and now he's in the hunt again. But you just thought that kid, that new prodigy, was just going to be kicking butt like Tiger did when he first came through.
Yeah, well, I think he's been doing
pretty good. But I mean,
damn well.
22 years old. Yeah, 22 years old. We felt this kid's like Tiger was in the hunt every week, but he wasn't. But eventually he's still in the hunt now. But I mean, just
always top 10.
Yeah, it's just how we kind of go. We anoint these guys. He'll be in the hunt every week.
All right, let's get to football at 50. All 32 teams are basically heading into their summer break before the training camps will open in late July. ESPN's mini camp tracker notes, the off-season programs are all wrapped up, ready to go. So you can see all that if you want to go to ESPN.com. Locally, this is probably the best Cardinals story, as Carson Beck is trying to speed up the learning curve, and officials are saying that Beck has his number. It says Arizona has his number for NFL success. So we'll see how this development works. As he's going to be the backup, he's going to be the starter. Maybe he's only going to be here for a couple of years and get moved. But it's only June, so we'll see. He can win June all he wants.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can prove in
Well,
August.
and he's putting the time in, Rock. He's over there. He said, listen to the article the other day, 13, 14 hours a day. This kid wants to come in and start. He wants to learn the system, understand. He's over there working early, late, doing everything he can to understand the offense, understand the defenses he's going to face, understand the adjustments within the route. So I commend him that he's fully committed to not just coming in and hanging out, being a third rounder. He's committed to going and trying to start. And I will say this, he'll play a lot of preseason. Matter of fact, I would probably look to go ahead and you'll probably start, whether it's Jacoby Brissett or Gardner Minshew, that first preseason game. I'd look to play him quarters 2, 3, and 4. They got 4 preseason games, so he'll get more than enough time in that Hall of Fame game. But I would really put a lot of emphasis on him playing a lot. Obviously, you got to play Jacoby Brissett a little bit, Gardner Minshew a little bit. But I'll tell you what, if this kid, they can get him some rhythm, some timing and tempo, to do all they can do to play him as much as they can to make him a legitimate threat to start that opening game.
So the Cardinals facility, for the most part, is empty during this 40-day dead period right before camp, which will open up on July 22nd. But all reports are saying that Carson Beck is basically living there.
Yep.
And he's hanging out with offensive coordinator Hackett, and he may need every minute of it.
That's true.
You got a 3-man race, and, of course, to talk about Sorsby and the supplemental one. I can't imagine.
I can't either. Matter of fact, I saw something earlier that Sorsby predicted to go either second or third round as everybody goes to the team. They haven't really said, they're only prognosticating teams that they feel he should go to. But I know the phone's got to be ringing off the hook with this coach in Cincinnati, with all the people in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati, by the way, denying that they're aware of his issues gambling. A lot of the attorneys for Sorsby are kind of pointing at that, hey, look, Cincinnati should have taken care of his problems, understood his problems. Well, look, if you're a gatekeeper, you don't know all be all. You know what a guy's doing in his dorm room or placing bets or what have you.
Do you think the intel that the Bengals have is pretty good since, Sorsby played at University of Cincinnati?
I think it would be. Yeah, I think there's a lot of
probably know people who know people.
He said that she said, and he knows, and that guy knows, and the whispers, the rumors that are out there. But second or third round, I could see that. But again, for a lot of teams, sounds like all systems are go. The National Football League, they haven't deterred that they're not going to draft in the supplemental draft. But I got to imagine the betting will be pretty thorough. And in his contract, Rock, I'm sure there'll be a lot of minor language talking about this specifically.
Down in Dallas, George Pickens' situation is getting messy. His contract is in limbo, and the Cowboys have already made a receiver move around him. And with at least a reporter is floating the idea that Dallas has already found a replacement for him, and he's already sitting on the roster. They haven't said who that is. You can probably read between the lines. But it's the same old Cowboys offseason theater. Somebody's unhappy. Jerry's talking. It's still June.
And here's the thing with you being franchise tagged. He's projected to make $27 million this year. pretty damn good, right?
Yep.
I think we can all survive on that. What these guys are all looking for, they want to renew their contracts so they get that guaranteed money. And the kind of guaranteed money for a receiver in his position might be 85 to $105 million guaranteed. That's what he wants. He doesn't just want the 27 million, which we can all survive. That's what he's hoping for. And I've just got a funny feeling that Jerry Jones is not going to go for it. He might do it after the season. By that time, Pickens will be a free agent.
All right, have a little fun. The dog days of summer are coming up. And the phone number is Manuch, 602.
602-230-0620.
There you go.
Jimmy.
With all the Aaron Donald comeback talk going around, NFL.com decided to have a little fun. They asked their staff which retired player they most want to see back on the field in 2026. And, of course, there were some ridiculous, some that were insane, some were totally off the wall. Tom Brady to the Raiders, Randy Moss and Patrick Mahomes, guys like that. But we're going to have some fun with that next.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your roles perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya guselkumab may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Celebrate Father's Day this year at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Unleash Dad's swing with the all-new Titleist GTS drivers. Find the perfect GTS driver for Dad to gain superior distance, accuracy, and ball speed. Need more ideas this Father's Day? We have gift cards in any amount, plus our online gift guide at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
ATAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. At 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, NFL.com did an instant debate asking which former NFL player would you want to see return in 2026. And it basically got inspired by Aaron Donald, his comeback chatter after the Rams added Myles Garrett. And Sean McVay basically left the door cracked open and saying Donald still talks with him and could probably still play at a high level at just 35 years old. So the story at NFL.com, the wildest pick, this is their staff putting it together, and then we'll share ours. And you're more than happy to join us if you have one that makes a lot of sense. 602-230-0620, 230-0620. The weirdest pick was Tom Brady coming back at 49 to play for the Raiders. And their argument was if Philip Rivers could come back after 4 years away, why not Brady? And the catch, though, is Brady, of course, is the Raiders' minority owner, so he'd have to divest his ownership stake before he could even play. So I guess it is kind of insane to think a 49-year-old player could come back. But when you look around the league and you see these stories about these older players, you know, the 30-somethings or the 40s now 30, the 50s now 40, whatever it may be. So I think that works.
Aaron Rodgers is 42.
Well, isn't the catch that they come out of retirement, but they're back in their prime on that team?
Yes. Andrew Luck was another one to the Jets. Luck is now the Stanford general manager, but he's still only 36. He's younger than several current NFL quarterbacks. So, and the piece that kind of makes this interesting, he could reunite with Frank Reich, who's there in New York as well. Randy Moss to the Chiefs. And NFL.com picked him. Said he believes today's rules would let him still score double-digit touchdowns. The whole idea of the candy, the fantasy football candy here is Moss with Mahomes chasing one thing. You know, that's one thing he's missing. You know, Moss is missing that ring.
Right.
He have that opportunity with Mahomes. Von Miller, a couple more. Von Miller to Denver. They pointed out that Miller still wants to play, had 9 sacks last season, needs 3.5 to pass Michael Strahan for 6th all time. This is probably the most realistic comeback on the list, and I'm sure Bronco fans would have no problem with him coming back. And Adam Thielen to the Ravens, as he's never reached the Super Bowl. A lot of people feel that this could be the year for the Baltimore Ravens. Still has some few clutch catches in his, I'm sure, in his pocket, so to speak. So we'll see if a veteran possession receiver could be exactly what Lamar needs in January. So, which retired NFL player would you most want to see come back for 1 year? Just 1 year. You know, I had 5. I know you have a bunch. I didn't even look at your list. I know Les has a list. I didn't even put mine down. It's more fun to just talk about it. But just give me your top 3.
I'm going to go number 1. I had Kurt Warner. I had him going to the Eagles. Eagles.
No.
Yeah. I had him with the Eagles because with that, your guys' offense, as far as your receivers, now that you got A.J. Brown there. And we
don't have A.J. Brown.
I mean, not A.J. Brown, but you got Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
You got Datavian Wicks.
And you drafted Makai Lemon.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good, USC kid.
And then you got Barkley coming out of the back on top. I think you have a guy that's more consistent, more accurate.
Better than what they have now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think Kurt Warner, you know, in his prime, Rock, in his prime, he with that offense.
When was he in his prime?
Oh, I think the last really 5 years with the Giants and Cardinals. He was still.
So he wasn't in his prime when he was with the Rams?
Well, he was. But I mean,
it was, you know, the greatest show on turf.
Yeah. Well, he was.
He had the support staff.
He did. He had all that, but he was just on fire there. And even with the Cardinals, he could have still played a couple more years. I really felt that. I think that hit versus the Saints pretty much convinced not so much him, but his wife. Hey, let's just call it a day. So I like that one. How about Larry Fitzgerald? With that offense, Brown going to the Pats, Larry coming out with that offense.
Where would
with
he
that
go?
group,
What team?
Patriots. Going to the Patriots.
Oh.
I like Larry going to the Patriots. There's your the adult in the room. There's your possession guy. Can I
trump you on this?
No, why? Why would you trump me on it?
Because I think I have a better player. And my number one is Jerry Rice to
Okay.
Buffalo.
And well, I like that
because the quarterback.
Exactly.
New England, you don't have the quarterback.
Well, you got Drake May
Oh,
as your
come
quarterback
on.
with the
You-
Pats.
You would take Drake May over Josh Allen or 20 other quarterbacks?
No. Here's the I've got Larry going to help out Drake May with the Pats. So Larry's going to go.
It's all about Drake May.
Well, yeah, helping him out with the group of receivers he has. He's that one guy. And then the other guy I like is the Steelers are missing that juice, that home run hitter. I would have Marshall Faulk. I'd love to see him go to the Steelers. Go to the Steelers, come out of the backfield, give that team some juice, give that team a chance to win it all. And my last couple are Tony Gonzalez going to the Dallas Cowboys, where they finally have a tight end they haven't had since Jason Witten. And I think that Dak Prescott, if they had a top tight end like a Tony Gonzalez, would help them immensely. And then last but not least, Lawrence Taylor going to the 49ers to get that guy to help get that defense over the hump with all the injuries they have.
See, for 49ers, I went with Reggie White. You already have a pretty nasty front there in San Francisco. You put in a Reggie White in there, pure pass.
We got to be
rusher.
alive, Rock. That's got to be alive.
I had Reggie
No,
White too.
you don't.
Manuch made me take it off because he's not alive.
Yeah, you guys.
Nobody said that. Who made that rule?
Well,
I
I
know.
current player.
Who made that rule?
All right, then go with it then. Okay.
Wasn't a current player. Kurt Warner's not a current
No,
player.
I mean a retired player.
What's the matter if he's dead or alive? This is fun.
Okay, go ahead.
I had Reggie White going to the
White.
Bears too, and you made me change it. I thought he'd be a great DN for
Who did you have going to the Bears?
Reggie White.
He had
He was
Reggie White.
DN.
I said Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie White would be great in Chicago. Oh, the minister of defense there. Another one, I think I just saw this on the paper last. It's the same one. I had Barry Sanders going to Dallas.
That'd be
backfield. Huge. They always have a pretty good line there in Dallas, and you put a Barry Sanders before there. That's appointment TV on
Barry Sanders and Tony Gonzalez with the Cowboys.
Another one I had was Ray Lewis in Detroit. They already got a pretty good offense, pretty good defense, but you put him in there and you got a prime Ray Lewis with that voice and just leading the attack there. And then one of that is just a stretch, just on the local level. I have Peyton Manning coming to the Cardinals.
That would be good.
It
He almost
almost
came to
happened.
the Cardinals. He was in town.
You plug him in his prime, and we're not talking about 3 or 4 wins. We're talking about 8, 9, 10
Sure.
with this current roster.
Sure.
He can throw to anybody.
Yeah, I like those. I mean, every one of those helps that team. And that might.
Where'd you get this dead or alive thing?
Well, I just figured if
The
somebody that's.
NFL, they didn't say that in the NFL.com story.
Well, I know, but they were looking at guys that are recently retired. They didn't have anybody that was dead in that article. Those guys were all the guys they talked about are all alive. But that's fine. You can go with it. I can go with that. All right, Laz, which way you going here?
I'll go to some of the ones you haven't mentioned yet. I think a prime Calvin Johnson to help out Justin Herbert and the Chargers would be a great fit. I think they
Not
would
bad,
get over the
yeah.
hump, win some playoff games where they haven't been able to. And another fun one, with the way the Broncos have been treading with Bo Nix and Sean Payton, I think adding a prime, massive Rob Gronkowski to that team would help them get over the hump. And then you know what? I went back to my Reggie White answer. I changed it back from J.J. Watt to Reggie White because the Bears need a defensive end horribly, and he would help them on defense. And then same as you, Rock, Barry Sanders on the Cowboys. That would not be fair at all. And then I had Randy Moss for the Chiefs, but I didn't realize NFL had that one, so that's no fun. So I changed it to the all-time GOAT at receiver, possibly Jerry Rice, to Kansas City with Mahomes. I think that'd be fun to watch as well.
I think anywhere for Jerry Rice.
Yeah, seriously.
I think as you look at at least you look at your list, Manuch, and you got more legacy skill guys, and
Yeah.
I kind of lean more on the defense and pure like game wreckers as a fan perspective. You look at the sport obviously a lot different since you played it, but for me as a fan, I'm looking for the Reggie Whites, the Ray Lewis, the
Good.
Barry Sanders, the Jerry Rices. You went with
4 offensive
Warner.
guys, 4 offensive guys, and 1 defensive guy.
I don't see the Kurt Warner.
My gosh,
just don't.
he
I
was
don't know why.
money,
I
Rob.
loved Kurt Warner, but
His accuracy, his completion percentage.
He's been fortunate everywhere he's gone, with the exception of the Giants. He had an amazing trio of receivers.
Well, he did here too.
With the exception of the Giants.
But the other thing
He had
too,
him here.
He had Todd Haley as his offensive coordinator that year they went to the Super Bowl. He and Todd Haley bounced ideas off as far as the offenses and with the receivers they had. The Anquan Boldens, the Brestons, the Larry Fitzgeralds. You had what's his name from the running back that was came from Indianapolis. Anyway, I'm trying to think who that was, but that's
Edgerrin James.
Yeah, Edgerrin James.
Yeah.
So, but Kurt Warner really helped build that offense with Todd Haley in reference to that. So there's a lot of ideas
Sure.
he could give Sirianni in reference to that, expanding that offense. And I think that
He's just too nice of a guy to go to Philly.
well, he was in New York for a year.
I just didn't see him in that New York Giant.
One that I liked for Philly was Troy Polamalu. I thought that would have been a good fit too, but I didn't put it down.
I think for Philly, they want the guy that brings their lunch and
Sure.
to work in the brown bag.
Well, Kurt was like that. He was lunch pail guy up there bright and early. And it's interesting. You look at this. So there's so many people in their prime that could help a team get over the hump. Now, you guys talk about Barry Sanders in Dallas. I went Tony Gonzalez in Dallas. It's interesting. All three of us had something to help the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, it's just because I hate the Cowboys more.
Well, I do too. I do too.
However, it's like, well, maybe you may not agree with this, and maybe I should think this before I'm just going to say it because it's not probably accurate. But you know how we talk about there are particular college football teams that are good for the sport.
Sure. Yeah.
Nebraska football, USC football. Yeah. Those are good programs that it's great to have them in the running every year.
Front
It's been a while for Nebraska. The Cowboys have sucked for so long. What, 96 when they were here, 97?
Yeah, 96.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first Super Bowl I went to when they played the Steelers here in Tempe, right? And they haven't been relevant with the exception of a couple playoff runs. But it's like, I don't know, just for the sake of, we have to deal with it already as it's the lead story with Stephen A. and everybody else on ESPN. Well, let's make them relevant at least. Give us some stuff to talk about.
I feel like, you like to see the Cowboys get built up. Then I'd like to see
them get hammered. Yeah. I would like to see the whole Dallas community just get so excited, get to the Super Bowl, and they get blown out by 30.
I feel you.
All right, we're gonna shift gears. Baseball, talking about blowing up the divisions, expansion, of course, geographic realignment, the whole thing. And for the D-backs, it could be a disaster, or maybe it'll be a gift. We're going to break all that down next because Arizona could finally escape the Dodgers. We'll break it down from Wright Toyota. It's Roc and Manuch with Laz as well on ESPN Radio 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizona's for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. On 977-1900. 977-1900.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangedaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Water is Arizona's most valuable resource. And for over a century, Phoenix has led the way in providing reliable water services. Wherever you call home in Arizona, we all share the responsibility to conserve for tomorrow. Watch your water use, especially outdoors. Consider desert-friendly landscaping and water-saving appliances. Together, small changes can make a big difference. Learn more at phoenix.gov/water and help secure Arizona's water future. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix Water Services Department.
Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
Center field. The Diamondbacks are world champions.
Oh, the historic Gonzo bloop off of who?
Mariano Rivera.
That's right. Cemented a championship that forever changed the Valley sports landscape. And it's been a quiet 25th anniversary year.
God, that's right, Roc.
25 years.
Damn.
And no one is really, I haven't, I watched just about all the broadcasts.
Sure. Yeah.
Listened to it, obviously, on our mothership. Hasn't been much, like you would think that, bring out Randy, bring out Kurt, bring out the whole team. And, that 2001 identity, right? It was built along those guys and, of course, Gonzo. Then you look at the identity now, 25 years ago, and it's Ketel Marte, it's Corbin Carroll. It's a team that's fighting every year just to try to get a wild card. And, 25 years ago, they didn't have a wild card like this. So many wild cards now.
True.
So I don't know. I just was like, this morning, I'm like, it's 25 years.
Yeah, that's that just went beyond me. When you had that, I went.
Usually, those are things that professional sports franchises will jump on.
Oh yeah,
and do a commemorable pin or do a commemorable night. Maybe they have it, and I'm missing it, lads. If I'm missing it, I'm not a season ticket holder anymore. So I'm like, Derek, if you're listening, I apologize, but I haven't seen anything. I would think Dog Days of Summer, that'd be an opportunity to kind of milk it a little bit.
You would think, and again, I mean, you just brought that up. That's right. This is the 25th anniversary. This is a silver anniversary of that World Championship in 2001, and you'd think they'd have a 25 patch on or something to signify that, hey,
the only championship we have in our city.
And we'll take it. We'll milk it for all we can.
The only championship we have in our city.
And we will milk it for as long as we can. And you would think they might have a theme for every home series. Randy shows up, or Junior Spivey shows up, or Mark Grace does a broadcast. So he's there. I mean, some of the other guys that were part of that, I think of, I go.
Upton was
Upton.
There's plenty. I mean, we don't need to go down that memory road, but it's just
but
I just saw
that were there.
Yeah,
Greg Colburn, some of those guys.
One thing that is also flying under the radar, but could reshape this franchise, is Major League Baseball realignment. As the commissioner, Roger Manfred, has floated the idea of expanding to 32 teams and then blowing up the current setup into 8 divisions of 4 teams each. It's a radical deal, but you would do it because of geographic reasons. The idea of cut travel costs and, of course, build in billions of expansion fees. So now this isn't happening tomorrow. We're talking maybe 2028, 29, who knows, the earliest. But if it happens, there were some reports, one being from Sports Illustrated, that this could be a possible change and a possible disaster for Arizona. And here's the problem. Just about every realignment map that's been floated out there keeps the Diamondbacks in the same division as the Dodgers, takes the Rockies out. And that matters because Arizona's already basically locked out of winning this division as long as the Dodgers exist, right?
Already, yes.
Let me check this number. Since 2017, the Diamondbacks are about 47% ball club inside the National League West. You take the Rockies out, their punching bag, that number drops to 44%. So you're being stuck with the Dodgers, stuck with the Giants, stuck with the Padres, who are all spending money, and you lose the one team you beat up on, and some of these plans would crack division games up from 13 to 16 a year, more games against the big boys.
Yes.
Fewer cupcakes. So I guess one writer pitched this one idea that I thought was pretty cool. And let's be clear, it's just an idea. It has get the D-backs out of the National League West entirely. You put them in a new division with the Vegas Athletics, the Seattle Mariners, and the future expansion team that's most likely either going to go to Salt Lake City or maybe even Portland. Keep most of the games in the same time zone. You take a couple longer flights to Seattle, and then finally you get out of the Dodgers. But I guess if the bottom line for our team is realignment does come, Arizona's line in the sand should be simple. Escape the National League West, escape the Dodgers, because right now, this team, the Diamondbacks, I know you win a couple here and there, but you're swimming upstream every single year.
I agree, Rock.
And so, because you're not going to move San Francisco and you're not going to move San Diego. You're just not. But geographically, Arizona could be moved.
Yes. And to that point, you look at that, you talk Seattle and then the Athletics, the Rangers could be moved out of that West. The the Diamondbacks could go into that American League West. And then also you could move Houston, plug somebody in there. So you would have the Angels, the Diamondbacks, A's, and Seattle. Now, one more team, I'd have to take a look because you mentioned. Okay, go 4 teams. That'd be a good 4 teams right there. So you can see Seattle, the A's, and the Diamondbacks, and then maybe the Angels. So that fits American League West. Move the Rangers out of there. Move Houston and the Rangers out of the American League West. Move them more central. So maybe you move them to the American League Central. I mean, this isn't a far-fetched idea because you looked at the NFL. They did it. They've done it a couple times.
Could you see a scenario? It's a stretch. You get rid of the American League National League completely. You're already doing so much interleague play, and you just put them all in one, and you fight off, however many teams you have in the playoffs, 12, 16, whatever it is, and, one plays 16, 2 plays 15, whatever, and then those final 2 teams are playing in the World Series.
It's interesting.
Because do we really care as much anymore with American League, National League? It was a big difference once upon a time.
Used to be, yeah.
Pitchers, batting, the DH, all that other stuff.
It could be. God, that's interesting because I almost thought of the NBA the way they got Western Conference, Eastern Conference, and the way they got it set up. But like that, they have everybody set, and then you just kind of track whether you're going to go to the playoff or not, like the NBA. Who are the top 10, and who are the play-in teams? So I could see the same format. Same here's the baseball teams in the West. Here's the baseball teams in the East. Where are they right now? Even though they got their own little divisions, I think that'd be on par because you are playing like Minnesota's coming in. So you got the American League coming in tonight, D-backs. So you just kind of keep track of your wins and losses, very, very similar to what they're doing in the National Basketball Association.
That's
interesting.
You look at soccer, we're seeing this. I think a lot of people like this tournament format. When you look at the Premier League, they have 20 teams total, and of course, you could get knocked out. Too if you're not, if you're on the bottom 3, I think is what it is. But they're doing it. They're playing so many games, and then they're having their playoffs.
Well, if you talked about, here's a couple things. Depending on this new CBA, the new agreement, I think that will wash out maybe a lot of the questions because if this is a hard cap in Major League Baseball, you won't see the Dodgers, I feel, quite as prominent because they're going to be limited what they could spend. So all of a sudden, you might have the Rockies or the some of the lower level teams, Royals, whatever. All of a sudden, they become on par. They may not still spend as much, but you got a cap. It's going to depend on who you're paying and what you can pay them. Because if that hard cap goes in place, Rod, a lot of these guys, you might have 5 or 6 guys making, for example, the Dodgers. They might have 5 or 6 guys making over $20 million on average. Well, they're not going to be able to afford that anymore. So those guys are going to have to be dispersed and go somewhere else to play, which will create parity with other teams. And I think you'll see that dominance, which you're alluding to with the Dodgers, might wane. That's why this new Dodger organization ownership group, Yankees, Mets, Cohen in New York, some of the other guys are fighting this, but they understand for their brethren owners that this might be beneficial, but the players are going to go for it. But I think to your point, it makes sense that if you got that spread out, you may not have to do a realignment.
So I did a 1 overall Major League Baseball standing board. So I ranked by record and winning percentage across all 30 teams.
All right.
So right now, the first 2 teams are the Dodgers and Braves in all baseball. Okay. They're 1 and 2, and they are, of course, National League. Yankees are number 3. Brewers, which are, of course, now National League, were American League, they're number 4. Then it goes Tampa Bay, St. Louis, Cleveland, Chicago, Philly, Chicago White Sox, Nationals, Mariners, Pirates, Padres, D-backs, and Blue Jays. So if we did a 16 team,
right
now, you would have the Yankees opening up the first round of the playoffs against the Diamondbacks.
That would be fun. The Yankees coming in town doing a split series. See, I like that round of 16.
So the way it broke out, though, is the American League of this just top 16 right now.
Right,
We're just having a little fun here. 6 of them were American. 10 were national. So National League dominated the top 16.
I think Major League Baseball with this hard cap, that something needs to happen. Something needs to
stretch.
Spin it a little bit where you get more people or more chances. But I like that, but I also like the way the NBA has it set up because you can see how close you are to making playoffs or not.
All right, Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com will join us next and talk about sports books and what's going on with some of these World Cup matches. Of course, if you are just joining us, USA won again today. They clinched a spot in the knockout round, defeating Australia 2-0. The first goal in like 10th or 11th minute, don't quote me on that, but was actually scored by an Australian defender, which went off of him, and that made it 1-0. And then Freeman ended up scoring another goal late in the first half. So Team USA has moved on. All right, Laz is next with an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy V's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. Wyndham Clark is in firm control early on at the U.S. Open after firing a 6-under round yesterday to build a 4-shot lead over the second-place guys Alexander Schauffele and Matt Fitzpatrick, who are tied in second place at 3 under par. Meanwhile, Team USA has picked up right where it left off last Friday, jumping out to a 2-0 lead over Australia, which they held on to that final score as they now advance to the knockout stages. In the MLB, the D-backs open a 3-game series tonight against the Minnesota Twins, and Michael Soroka will get the start for Arizona with first pitch set for 6:45. You can catch all the action on our mothership station, 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This Father's Day, treat Dad to a place built for him, Twin Peaks. Sunday, June 21st, buy 6 wings and get 6 more free. And here's the move. If you buy Dad a man card between the 8th of June and the 21st, you'll score a $5 bonus card as well.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Hey, Arizona State football fans, London is calling. The Sun Devils are headed across the pond to face Kansas in the inaugural Union Jack Classic, September 19th at Wembley Stadium. It's the first college football game ever played there, and you should be part of it. For tickets, hospitality, and travel packages, visit UnionJackClassic.com or contact the Sun Devil ticket office. Join Coach Dillingham, Sparky, and the Sun Devils in London. Forks up.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Celebrate Father's Day this year at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get Dad dialed in with Ping Scottsdale Tech putters. The new mallets introduce IQ alignment technology. Each model improves your focus to sink more putts. Need more ideas this Father's Day? We have gift cards in any amount, plus our online gift guide at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
Meth and cocaine are dangerous drugs. They don't have to be mixed with fentanyl to be deadly. In Arizona, deaths involving stimulants like meth and cocaine are rising. Both are highly addictive, and there is no medication that can reverse an overdose. Instead of thinking, it can't happen to me or my loved ones, get informed. Recognize the warning signs, understand the risks, and know that help is available. Learn more at thenewmeth.com. Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition, Leaders of Arizona.
Gamblers, Scott Spreitzer, one of the leaders and most trusted names in the country. Nobody watches and studies games more than he does. From TalkSports.com, here's Scott Spreitzer, exclusively on with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Scott joins us now. Of course, you can follow him on Twitter at Scott Wins, TalkSports.com. As a lot of us are dabbling in a little World Cup. There's plenty of action every day, multiple matches. But before we get into that, I just want to know how UFC 250 did for the books last week.
Yeah, I think there was pretty good action out here in Las Vegas, a little bit more than I thought there would be. So they did well. We were able to hit the one fight that we had that we talked about last week, so I was happy about that. But I think they were pretty pleased with their action for the most part.
So so will that help the sport? Do you think that more people kind of peeked in because of where it was?
I'm not so sure. You know, it's we're talking World Cup, and I kind of use that as the example. Is I think it's one of those things where it's got its niche followers, and just like soccer, and every year we hear, oh, the World Cup's here, and this is going to spark interest in USA soccer or soccer in general in the USA, not just Team USA, and it kind of does, but it's not overwhelming. And I think that's the same thing with UFC. They might gain a few new followers, but I'm not sure it's going to be, a huge dent in the, with the rest of the sports. I still think it's going to be a niche sport for as long as it's around.
Scott, has boxing died? I mean, you don't hear anything. It's all UFC, and you might have some of the little guys here and there, but I have no idea. I mean, is the sport dead as far as it may not be in Vegas with a lot of the handicappers there, but where's the sport at right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, the heavyweight division carries that sport, and we just haven't had a great heavyweight division for a long time. And I think you see, American heavyweights now play football, where maybe 50, 60 years ago, they would box. And so it's a situation now where it's really died. I mean, you still get the biggest names in the industry might hold a fight in Vegas, and you'll get a sold out, arena and general interest over that weekend of the fight. But, until we get some heavyweights, and I don't know if we ever will again, until we get heavyweights in the U.S. that matter, it's a situation where I think the sport is just, it's not even close to being what UFC is, obviously, at this point. And that's what it's going to take. But, how do you woo a kid or his parents to allow him, at 220 pounds to put his jaw on the line out there and the brain injuries that come with it when he can get $1 million a year to play college football, And so it's just tough, I think, for that sport to be able to come back. And it got ruined. It should have had an overall commissioner who kept things in line, when the Arams of the world or the Don Kings of the world ruled it. And we just haven't had any, personality come in and take over boxing and point it in the right direction. There's no Dana Whites for boxing. That's the problem.
Well, I was just going to say there's with the Gen Z and the millennials to get them interested and keep them.
Right.
Even with the young kids coming up, how do you recapture them? That's a lost generation to boxing, I feel.
Golden Gloves was a big deal when I was growing up. I couldn't wait to go watch the Golden Gloves in Omaha. And have you heard of the Golden Gloves in the last 10 years? I mean,
no.
It's just not existent as far as, people understanding what it is. That was a big deal. I mean, I could not wait to watch Golden Gloves boxing at the Omaha Civic Auditorium, and you just don't hear it anymore at all. I mean, it's out there, but you don't hear about it.
All right, let's talk about Team USA and what went into this game when it comes to what the lines were and how did you do, or how did the books do? Sounds like a lot of people were on USA today.
First of all, I had USA minus a goal, and whew, that's all I got to say about the final that game.
Thanks, Australia.
Match, it looked like the Aussies were the Socceroos were going to get a goal against us, and I laid the goal there with Team USA, and they were in protection mode for most of that second half and almost got burnt by it. But, yeah, I mean, the books always do well in Southern Nevada when it comes to the World Cup, especially if the USA is on, and they took a good chunk of money again today. I know the normal soccer bars and clubs here in Vegas, were packed. It's funny in Las Vegas, it's not a big soccer town, and I wasn't at the place, but a couple of my buddies were in the Summerlin area at a couple of bars, and I said, how's the crowds? And they said, what crowd? And they showed a picture, and it was your regular Friday afternoon crowd at the bar. So, but as far as the betting is concerned, and obviously it's a big deal. It's funny because, guys, when we do just videos on World Cup, and I'm not talking about all the other soccer leagues, but World Cup, like this year, for instance, if I do a video on World Cup soccer, I'm going to get 3 to 4 times more views than I do for Major League Baseball or WNBA. So it's pretty interesting because the interest is definitely there during the World Cup tournament every 4 years, but then, of course, it just dies off big time after that.
Is there a line for Turkey yet?
Let me look real quick as we're talking because I'm
curious.
See one.
Since they locked it, and depending on what I think, what happens with Turkey next, but that'll be kind of interesting. The fact that, for us, Turkey's actually training here at Arizona Athletic Grounds in Mesa, so they're kind of a local team here. But just curious if that would even be out yet. So I doubt it would.
Let me check yet.
Just
they might have put something up yet. That's a Thursday game, right? So
yeah, next Thursday, I believe 6:00, somewhere around there.
Thursday World Cup. Let's look here. USA plus $1.65. Turkey plus $1.50. Total 2.5. So Turkey's a slight favorite, very slight favorite in that game. And again, it's plus 150 for Turkey, plus 165 for USA. So pretty even match is what they're saying right now. And of course, I'm not going to jump in until I see what happens tonight with Turkey, and also when I, kind of hear about what Team USA might do with a couple of their players. And by the way, these are both offshore books that I'm looking right now.
Okay.
I've got about 18 books on my line service. These two are small offshore books that don't take a ton of action. There's nothing yet in Southern Nevada that's put out a line yet, according to my line service.
Okay. Scott Spreitzer joining us here, of course, DocSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at Scott Wins. All right, let's talk Brazil-Haiti tonight. How you handicapping this one?
Well, I think, you have to lay around $1,000 to win 100 if you want to bet Brazil just to win the game. So you could also – there you go, guys. Another one of those bets for you guys, right? So,
yeah, exactly.
What the heck? So you can also lay – a lot of guys that I know are laying 2.5 goals with Brazil, so they have to win by 3 or more to cash that bet. It's minus $1.25, which means you have to lay $125 to win 100. And again, they got to win by 3 or more. The over is also, I think, in play tonight at 3.5. I think Brazil dominates. Who doesn't? And they might top that total themselves. They were not the better team in the first half against Morocco and eventually settled for that draw. This makes this game that much more important for Brazil, and goal differential could come into play for the top spot in the group when it's all said and done. Excuse me. Brazil isn't, what it used to be on defense. And in fact, guys, they failed to gain a shutout in any of their last 5 matches. So I think the over comes into play here. I think this could be a 4-1 type of game, 3-1 type of game, which gets over 3.5.
And then tomorrow night we go to Toronto, Germany taking on Ivory Coast. What I always look at is the over-under 2.5. I mean, we're not going to see another Canadian blowout what we saw yesterday. But is Ivory Coast, were they one of the ones that one of their players was popped because of the unusual yellow card situation that some gamblers cashed in on?
Yeah, that's right that you mentioned that. But it's, here's the thing about Germany. You mentioned the Canada 6-0 blowout and the Germany 7-1 blowout of Curacao. It's not going to be anywhere close to that. They're going to get a tougher test. Ivory Coast has decent talent. They'll be fired up to take on, mighty Germany. So it's not as major as far as the importance to Ivory Coast because they did gain 3 points in that opener. They've got Curacao next, and that's a win. Having said that, the win over Ecuador was solid. Ecuador is all about defense, and scoring against them is not easy. Germany isn't as strong as they have been in the past as far as their defensive end of the pitch. They do give up goals. I do like their attack. Who doesn't? But I do believe Ivory Coast can score at least one goal on them. So this is another situation where it's tough to find 2.5s right now, but there's a whole bunch of 3s, and I think it's another situation where you could play the over and feel pretty good about your bet going in.
All right, Argentina and Austria on Monday. That's our last one.
Yeah, no team looked better to me so far than Argentina in that 3-0 win over Algeria. It might as well have been 5-0. I mean, Algeria wasn't going to score if they played another 90 minutes, and the Argentines finished with a 6-0 shots on goal advantage in the match. Of course, Messi had the hat trick, but there's so much more than just one superstar. I mean, they've got, Lautaro Martinez, Julian Alvarez. These guys can pick it up if Messi didn't play for a half, let's say. And, while Austria beat Jordan 3-1, the third goal came in stoppage time, the 102nd minute, and their expected goals metric was 0.9. And I'll explain that real quick. Expected goal metric is also known as XG, if you see it out there online, and it measures the probability that a shot will result in a goal based on historical data. So it assigns a value between 0 and 1 for every attempt. For example, an XG of 0.2 means an average player would score from that position and that shot 20% of the time. And again, Austria's expected goal metric was less than 1. So they're kind of fortunate to pile up 3 goals in that game. So I think Argentina, the best team, as we all know, in the world, at minus $1.67 is the way to go. It means you got to lay $167 to win 100.
Scott, good luck this weekend. Thank you as always, buddy. Appreciate you.
Take care, guys. Good luck.
That's Scott Spreitzer breaking down some World Cup here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio Phoenix. As I don't know. I haven't put much money, I haven't bet much on World Cup because I just don't know the sport well enough. But the corner kicks and things like that, I think I would love to do.
The props.
Yeah.
The props are there.
Don't know the sport well enough. So.
Yeah, I know enough to be dangerous. That's about it. I mean, as far as I would probably be looking at props. I mean, I look at these over-unders and, you're looking, okay, it's 2.5 or it's 3. And to that point about Argentina, I think the over-under is 3.5 in that game. But the thing you're right, it's penalty kicks, free kicks, corner kicks. That's about it. I go offsides, and then from anything else from the betting side, I don't touch it. Wouldn't touch it.
All right, as we speak, talking USA soccer. Of course, they just beat Australia. We're going to bring back some of that sound, both goals. And if we have any post-game, we'll bring that to you as well. As we continue on, we'll have our World Cup soccer update, which is powered by Michelob Ultra. That's next as we continue from Wright Toyota.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I work for the Arizona Department of Public Safety Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Unit. Any idea why I stopped you today? No, sir. I stopped you for distracted driving. Arizona law prohibits the use of electronic devices unless they're hands-free. Truck drivers see everything, except their blind spots. Cutting off a truck is like cutting off a freight train. It's dangerous, so stay focused on the road. Visit sharetheroadaz.com to learn how to drive truck smart.
Sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation and the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Life can throw a lot your way. For some, that includes first episode psychosis or FEP. It can feel overwhelming, like hearing or seeing things that aren't there, or feeling disconnected from reality. The good news? FEP can be treated. Recovery can include medication, therapy, and support from peers. There are programs across Arizona with people who understand and are ready to walk with you. It all starts with one click. Visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MapForce, working to build healthier communities.
The U.S. is on the world stage, and there's a lot to get to. This is your World Cup soccer update, powered by Twin Peaks. 5 locations across the valley showing you every match, and Michelob Ultra pouring all summer long. Let's get you caught up.
Balogun, it's a step up Chakotay. Balogun to the byline. Balogun into the middle. It's the United States once again on the board early. Ricardo Pepe was in. Was it perhaps last off the defender? Who cares? It's 1-0 US.
I love that. Who cares? It's 1-0
Score.
US. As Burgess for Australia knocked off of him and went in the goal. It was what, the 10-minute mark, 11-minute mark, something like that. But good stuff as they get the first one. And then a little bit later into the first half of the match, this is what happened to get it 2-0.
Picture review. The goal scorer was not in offside position.
And the building shakes in Seattle. Alex Freeman's third international goal for the U.S. He is onside, and he reacts first to this ball. Doesn't stop. Patrick Beach is on the floor, and it's Freeman from close range, beats him. The right punch almost coming, but it's Freeman who punches it home for the United States' second goal to give them a 2-goal cushion from almost going off the field to staying on the field. What a moment for that young man, 21 years old.
So the Americans controlled the game from the start. It was quite chippy. They had 7 yellow cards combined. And U.S. dominated possession 63% of the time. They limited Australia to just 5 total shots. And that's just big when you see it there. So where it leaves them, well, the United States sitting atop the Group D, essentially locked up the advancement. And the group finale will be next Thursday, 6-7 o'clock against Turkey. And given that Turkey's base camp is at AAG, you hopefully this is an opportunity to blow them out. Can
you imagine that? How ironic. They're training out there at AAG and got the USA just kind of coinciding, coming together. But great to see the Americans advancing to the knockout round. Hopefully they can go beyond and above. It's going to be very, very difficult when you look at some of the teams they're going to play. But that'd be nice to see. But, yeah, it's just very interesting. We've seen a couple of gaffes by the opposing team. This, as you mentioned, Burgess with the shot coming off of him. Then with 11-minute mark, And we saw a couple gaffes by goalies. I think the South Korean goalie, he had a gaffe yesterday. And just so interesting to see just the way the dynamics feel. A lot of defense, great job by the American defense, what we saw here at Wright Toyota, to see these guys just a few shots on goal. So nice to see the USA moving on. Hopefully they can continue to move on.
They're absolutely right. It was chippy. The guys were really going at it. I only got to watch the first half, most of the first half. And what I saw was the Australians, the Socceroos, those guys, man, they were holding and grabbing, and really it was pretty physical for soccer, and it was quite interesting. It was the most physical game I've seen in a long time. Now, again, I'm not the big soccer fan, but it was noticeable that the referee had to come over multiple times to talk to multiple players. Say, all right, guys, separating. Like you see in basketball where two defender and an offensive player going at it and holding each other back.
I listened a little bit to the pregame leading up to 12 o'clock coming in here to Wright Toyota, and they were talking about the Australians that have a big team. It's a big group of guys. They said one of the bigger teams is the Australian team. Their size and maybe not the fleetest of foot, but just good athletes. And I thought that was very interesting because when I think of Australia, I think more of rugby, Australian rules. I think that way.
Well, the Australians got the rugby down.
They got that down. But it was interesting to hear him say is that there's a lot of those same large players that may convert, go to soccer, or as they're growing up, they've got the choice of whether it's going to be soccer or it's, rugby, that kind of thing. So the size, the ability, and all that. So they said the USA was going to face a much stronger, bigger team per se. And I'm just glad that the USA team could handle that physicality coming from the Australians.
So there you have it. A little brief but effective World Cup soccer update, which is powered by Twin Peaks, 5 locations across the valley showing every match. Michelob Ultra on special, pouring all summer long. So good stuff there. Hey, our State 48 Roofing, can I ask you something? We've been doing radio for how long?
For 22 years, September 6th.
So just the visual.
Yeah.
We're at Wright Toyota right now.
Right.
We have our own set. We got our picture up. We got Wright Toyota.
Right.
We have this a huge set, right? We've been doing this for like 20 years here.
Right.
And we are sitting across the television screen or the iPad doing the YouTube. And all you have up on your laptop right now, and you constantly have it, and it's just been bugging me for about 15 years.
What's that?
What are you actually looking at? You're looking at box scores. How does that do anything? What do you take away from the box score? Because that's all you have is ESPN box score. Is that World Cup box score?
Yeah, World Cup.
Okay, so what is that telling
I'm
you?
Just kind of
what are you dissecting? What is it? What will you be able to bring to the show from those box scores?
Well, number one, I'm looking at who's playing who. Number one.
Okay,
number
all right.
two.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
There's no right or wrong answer.
No, looking at who's playing, and then I was looking at like the stats from the USA Australian
You're
game.
looking at soccer
like that.
stats.
So-
What stats would you bring to the table right now that would be
I wouldn't
really
wanna bore
good
anybody.
content? Exactly.
And then
so
I've got
why are you wasting your time on that?
no, because we're talking soccer, and I'm just taking a look at
box scores.
Yeah, no, well, there's no scoring yet because these are games that are coming on today.
Okay, so
So-
another reason. Were you a big TV guy?
Oh yeah.
I mean, so you love the TV?
Oh, I was.
Is that what
I
you're
was
looking
going
right
through
now?
all the
This is
above.
your version of the 2026 TV guy?
I've got baseball stuff open. I got football. I've got our show sheet. I got like 8 different.
You've had the box score open for the last.
Well, that's because we're
25
talking.
minutes.
Yeah, it's just because we're talking soccer right now. So soccer
For
segment.
30 minutes, you've had the box score up.
No, I haven't. I've
30
been,
minutes.
I've been going back and forth
No, you haven't had
from
the box score.
there.
Yeah.
So I got there, and I've got the Diamondback schedule.
Diamondback
So I go-
schedule. Here, that's.
Yeah.
So if anyone listens to the show more,
Yeah, I got the
more than
Diamondback
once,
schedule.
You know how annoyed I get with Dan Manucci because he's so worried about the Diamondbacks' future. He can tell us the next 5 teams and if it's home or away. He knows the schedule more than anything. It's not about this weekend's Twin Series.
Mm-hmm.
It's St. Louis, it's Tampa, or whoever else it is after that.
And
Is
then
that even close?
So yeah, it is.
Okay.
I got the Twin schedule. I got the Diamondback schedule open.
What is that? How does that help you do a
Because-
radio show?
Because I know who's going to be pitching tonight. I know. I look at.
But you're looking at St. Louis. You're going to tell me who's pitching next Friday in Tampa?
I could tell you, yeah.
But why would that matter?
Because it's there for for content for later on here.
Well, for what?
Because I'm looking at the
Is there
picture
somebody-
rotation.
you do another show somewhere else?
No, because I'm looking at
I mean, where would that come into play?
Could I please answer my question? Yeah. It's like when I watch is it Abby Phillips of The View? Could I please answer the question?
Do you watch that show? That explains a lot.
Well,
That is probably the worst television show ever.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of Abby
I
Phillips.
mean,
no, at all.
he is such a.
No. I'm not a big fan of hers, by the way, of Abby Phillips. I'm like, could you please get control?
Do you like the one on the left? The girl all the way in the left?
Oh, left, right. I listen to all of them.
No, the woman all the way on the left.
Oh, Whoopi.
Yeah,
that's The View.
You like her?
Summer's here.
Yeah. That's what
Oh,
I'm
The
talking
View.
about.
Oh, absolutely. I like.
Wait, are you talking about a different View?
Well, Abby Phillip. That's a show. It's called Abby Phillip.
The View?
No.
Didn't he say The View right
I
away?
said Abby
That's-
Phillip and The View.
He did. I heard it.
All right.
Yeah. There's a couple of shows that I get a little annoyed when they don't
So-
moderate
So
properly.
we found out yesterday. Love Island, and the woman got a ticket for go 108 because she was late. She wanted to watch Love
'Cause
Island.
a lot of people watch Love Island.
You tape The View?
Oh, my wife does. Yeah. We
Oh,
take
my
The View.
God.
Yeah, I like
no.
The View.
You
Yeah.
do?
Oh yeah. I like a good fan. Well, let's put it this way. I tolerate The View. I will tolerate The
If
View.
you're switching a channel, and you're gonna, I don't blame you.
I tolerate. They have some good thoughts because they have a combination.
Some good thoughts.
Some right, good left.
There's no right in that.
Oh, there's a lot there.
You are so brainwashed.
There's so no.
Oh my God.
I am coming around to reality.
All right, I found some stories that nobody's really talking about next.
Summer's here. Grills are hot, flags are flying, and D-backs baseball is in full swing. It's the perfect time to step up to the plate in a new Sanderson Ford with employee pricing. Now you pay what they pay on America's best-selling trucks and SUVs. Choose from a Ford F-150 STX, Bronco Big Bend, or Explorer, all starting at under $42,000. If you're looking to save this summer, choose American value for American values. Choose Sanderson Ford, proud partners of your Arizona Diamondbacks. Employee pricing good through 7/6/26. Not all vehicles qualify. See dealer for details.
Buy gold and put some silver in your pocket. I know what you're thinking. Everything's expensive right now. How am I going to buy gold? It's Ron Paul. Nowadays, a lot of things are out of your control, but there is something you can do right now to diversify your retirement, and it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket. My friends at Birch Gold Group will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, a time-tested hedge against inflation. Plus, in honor of America 250, Birch Gold is going to give you a special America 250 1-ounce silver round for every $10,000 you purchase by July 2nd. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898 to get a free info kit from Birch Gold and claim eligibility for this limited time offer. Again, text the word SECURE to 989898 today.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to azdcs.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. Let's check the feed. I've been out there scrolling so you don't have to. Every sport, every story, everything blowing up online right now. The highlights, the hot takes, the viral moments, the stuff you're going to be talking about all day. It's all coming across the feed. Here's what's buzzing in the sports world. Let's dig in.
All right, let's start with Yardbarker. Had a wild one. USA and Paraguay reportedly drew 26.9 million viewers, putting that one USA group stage game above recent averages of the NBA Finals, the World Series, and Sunday Night Football.
That's amazing.
Everyone talks about whether soccer is arriving in America. This is actual proof that when Team USA matters in the World Cup, the audience is there and is already there. And I'm sure today, being a holiday, I am sure the numbers were pretty good for an afternoon game. I'm sure all the restaurants and bars that carry it did well there. So,
if that's the thing that boggles me, though, is okay, the interest, the viewership. Then why can't we get those individuals that are top-notch athletes that are interested to get that to transcend to playing the game of soccer? I mean, the fans are there. I mean, a lot of us, novices. I mean, I know enough to be dangerous, helping Nethery when she was out with her soccer teams and doing that. But it blows me away that so many people have that interest. But when it comes to actually playing and getting some of those youngsters that are coming up to transcend and play the game of soccer, it just doesn't correlate. Because as you mentioned, you got NBA numbers. Guys grew up playing major NBA, NFL numbers. Hey, guys are playing, but they don't get quite the player, or I should put it this way, the top-notch athletes to play soccer, but the interest is still there. That's the thing that's a paradigm there.
Devin Booker reportedly is changing his jersey number from number 1 to number 15 in honor of his dad and the number he wore in the Olympics. This isn't just a uniform trivia. Booker has been number 1 in Phoenix, in the Phoenix culture for years.
Yes.
A number change opens up the legacy, the marketing, the jersey sales, a lot of different things here. I guess the question would be, is he changing the numbers for a fresh start, a new start, or is it really truly a family tribute, or is it both?
I think it's probably a combination of both. I mean, because don't the players get a percentage of their jerseys? I mean, if you got like 3 number 1s, I don't know, way home, now you got to go get a number 15. I mean, I look at it from a marketing ploy like, wow, Devin, you're going to make $75 million this year. If it's truly that, shame on him.
I think it's a horrible idea.
I mean,
every kid who's got a freaking number 1.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, what are you going to do when his number gets retired? I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, all right, there is no number 15 right now, okay? There is no number 1 right now when you look at the Phoenix Suns retired numbers. Right. 5, Dick Van Arsdale, 6, Walter Davis, 7, Kevin Johnson, Marley's 9, Nash is 13, TC's 24, Marion's 31, Stoudemire 32, Alvin Adams 33, Barkley 34, and Connie Hawkins 42. So, if he finishes his career in 5 years, he's clearly going to have his number retired.
Well, and that's what I said.
So we're going to put a 1/15 up there?
And then, yeah, you can just go 1.
Seriously.
Dash 1-5.
This stuff I don't get. What you can honor your father in another way, can't you? Is it
sure.
15? I mean, unless there's something there that, hey, it's none of our business.
Yeah.
Personal. Okay, the Olympics, great. You're number 15. That was cool.
Yeah. I mean, what I think when I heard this, I thought of when Jordan came back, he flipped his number.
Yeah, 45 for 23.
Yeah, Kobe changed. Did Kobe change his number?
I think he did too.
Yeah, change his number. I mean, when I heard this, I'm like, okay. I just thought of the people that had number 1 jerseys, that they spent all that good money on that number 1 jersey. They might have 2 or 3, I don't know, jerseys at number 1. So now you want to go get a 15?
I bought a number 1 jersey last season.
But the Lakers, hold on, lads. Lakers, they retired the 8 and the 24 for Kobe.
They retired both. Okay. All right. What's that, Laz?
No, you were just saying that for everyone that bought a jersey, maybe 2 months ago, maybe 3, I got a number 1 Booker jersey. But I think the number 1 jerseys are still cooler than the 15, so they'll still be popular.
No, that's not his number. Why are you going to wear a jersey that's not his number?
Got no choice. I ain't buying another one.
See?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's the rub.
Get a Sharpie.
I mean, yeah. You know what? Yeah, get that one. Just make a big
Now,
5 next to
The
it.
difference, though, when you look at Kobe, there's Kobe, then there's Devin Booker. Okay, Kobe,
Right, yes,
Kobe's
exactly.
got 5 championships. He had 3 with the 8, 2 with the 24.
Right.
It's a little bit different. Booker doesn't have anything.
No, and he's not.
I don't know. Are we overreacting on something like this?
I just think it's, to me, if it's the Olympic thing, or with the dad honoring the dad, I don't know. Just for, I mean, I guess you got to look at the sentimental side of this whole thing. I know. I've been hanging around you too long. I have to go marketing wise.
That's what I'm like. Yeah, all right. There's going to be some money being made.
There's this. He's going to get. They're going to start flipping to 15. He gets a percentage coming back. I mean, he would get it at number 1 no matter what. I don't know.
How much more money does he make? Does he need to make? He's going to make close to $70 million, right?
He's going to make $75 million this year.
Really? You need another couple million because you switch to jerseys?
That's why I said if that's.
Come on, Devin. You're the guy here.
Yeah, if
you don't need to do this. Or maybe, I don't know, what can you do for all those kids that saved up all their money, or parents saved up all their money to buy a son's number 1 jersey? Now the kid who doesn't understand the market, doesn't understand the change, it's going to get all upset. It's going to be a problem for the mom or the dad. And now they're going to go out and buy a number 15 jersey because Devin Booker's their favorite player.
You bring it up, you go, so what do you, when he goes on the Wall of Fame, what number do you put up there? I mean, that's.
Well, clearly it's got to be 1 because 10 years, unless he's going to play another 10.
Yeah.
Now, all right, if he wins a championship wearing number 15, all right, maybe you do something like what they did with Kobe with 8 and 24.
The other thing that's interesting is you don't see a lot of this in baseball and football. I know that just recently Kyler Murray was number 1. I think he just went to the line. Who's the linebacker he claimed it.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, middle linebacker that was hurt last year. But you don't hardly see this in football at all. You don't see this in baseball at all. It's just like basketball. And we talked about, and if you go to a team that's got your number, another guy's got your number, then you would buy that number from him. So there's also that.
Yeah, that happens all the time. But
sure,
to retire 2 numbers, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Lakers are the first team ever to do that, and they did it 9 years ago.
Oh,
they did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But Kobe's a little bit different.
I just think if Devin did this for all the wrong reasons, shame on you. You make more than enough money.
Well, in his mind, they may not be wrong reasons.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
When does the team have some say in this? Or they're looking at it like, oh, we're going to make some money on this.
Well, if nobody's got 15, nobody's had 15, 15's not retired, they give, I don't know. I saw, I thought it was just silly. I thought it was just silly for him to flip from number 1 to 15, just because of all the kids out there that already have his number 1, the kids out there that are going to have to go buy 15. But in your case, Laz, you'll just show up with number 1, but they're going to go, well, Booker's now 15. So do you feel maybe someone feel obligated now to go get 15? I just think it's all about marketing.
Trying to look at some other former Suns. Oh, Vinny Del Negro wore 15. Danny Manning wore 15. Campaign, Jalen Bridges. Mark Williams was 15. How does that work?
So Williams was wearing 15?
Yeah. Alan Williams.
So did he buy it?
Alan Williams.
Alan Williams.
Oh, Mark Williams. I'm sorry. Yeah, Mark Williams.
So Mark Williams at 15. So did he? I hope he paid him. I hope Mark got a.
Well, he's gonna be gone anyway.
Well, I don't know about that, Rock.
Yeah,
I think they'll keep him.
My understanding.
I think they'll keep
somebody I have talked to. He will not be back.
Why would you let him go? They don't want to pay him. Maybe he's going to ask too much. He wants too much money. They need him. I mean,
well, then why would he go? Why would he go after his number unless he's paying him? Right? Maybe Book knows something we don't know. That's a sign. Well, 15 is going to be available.
Yeah, you're connecting the dots now. So Mark Williams, that's interesting. I didn't.
And all you Robin Lopez fans that have that Suns 15 jersey, you have to take Lopez on the back.
Well,
take it off and put Booker.
If Mark Williams does stay, I hope he got some money for getting that jersey.
Manuch is a guy. I have a friend of mine who works for the Suns, and he's like, too many people are not talking about how good this kid's going to be, and they are grooming him the right way. And there's a reason why he was number 1.
Sure,
dude, he's going to be the guy, and he's going to be a superstar in the league. And that's just somebody we've had him on our show a couple times. Who knows a lot more than you and I, and 90% of people listening. That he is the guy, and watch out.
Well,
that's the jersey number you want to start buying.
Well, I think there are a couple things. If they keep Williams, they got Maluach. They can play them both. I think also Iguodala is a guy that might be the odd man out if they keep Mark Williams. But I think you look at that, the big men they're going to have to keep. I mean, Williams is finally, made it through an entire season. Yeah, got banged up, nicked here and there. So this was like his first season, Roc. I think he played like 80% of the time. That he's going to grow. I would hate to see them give up on him or not re-sign him and go with the young guys. I mean, if you got Maluach, you got Iguodala, I mean, that's what you're going to go with. That's not going to move this team forward. I think if Mark Williams and if Maluach is going to be your guy in the future, yeah, you play him, you continue to play him, but he's still not going to be ready for being one of those impressive big men in the NBA. I mean, he will eventually, you hope.
Another Sun story here in June. Dylan Brooks, flight school. Apparently has spent some of the offseason in flight school. So that leads me to this question. Which NBA player would you least trust flying your plane? Dylan Brooks is up there. I also wrote down Draymond Green. I went down the line a little bit. Like Ben Simmons, no way. I mean, he can't make free throws, so you can barely. How can he fly a plane? J.R. Smith. I said Draymond, right?
Draymond.
Kyrie Irving, maybe, because he thinks the world is
flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that?
I'm trying to think who else. But Dylan Brooks, right there. Obvious answer. I mean,
that's interesting. I've known a few guys, athletes that are pilots. I remember Joe Ferguson. I backed up Joe. Joe was a pilot. He'd fly all over the place in the off season. In the off season, folks, you're not allowed to fly your own plane or fly during the regular season. But there's been a lot of guys that have gotten their pilot's license.
All right, a couple more stories before we jump into the police blotter. But these are just kind of some off the wall stories. Sports Illustrated had a piece. 23 UFL players have signed NFL contracts in the past week. That's pretty big. So their chances, we'll see, of making that 53-man roster. But, UFL to NFL pipeline is real. So some of that sport, if you're watching that developmental league, or if we could start calling it that, hey, you're starting to see some guys make some money. Yardbarker picked up a ranking that put the Cleveland Browns dead last in entertainment value for the upcoming year. I mean,
that's not saying a lot.
Despite even the, Shedeur Sanders angle, right? I mean, this isn't very good. And I don't have the full list. I have time, and maybe next week we'll find out where the Cardinals are on that list, because I can't imagine them being higher either. But, who is the least watchable NFL team? And can a bad team still be must-see TV? I would have to say Cardinals.
Yes.
I mean, they don't have any superstars. A few, but they don't have a lot.
Well, it speaks volumes that they're not going to be on any primetime TV. No,
but
Monday
some
night.
people like train wrecks, so you want to watch a team get beat by 20?
No, I want to see good football. I want to see two good teams going at it. That's why I think the Monday night football really matters. Like, you get two good teams. Thursday night football, I mean, I think the NFL tries to spread the wealth out, if you will. But if a team is in the doldrums like the Cardinals all the time, why would you want to put them on Thursday night or Monday night? Nobody wants to watch that.
Not moving the needle at all. All right, bust out the cups. It's a Friday. It's police blotter. We got a former ASU star arrested. Got a Broncos starter who was picked up twice in 7 days. This is always fun. We'll have that for you next. We got our whole rap sheet coming up as we'll get into it. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Wright Toyota.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Roc for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at righttoyota.com.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we've got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills or powders is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny amounts can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. Sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Time to open the lot. The sports world's worst decisions all in one place. The arrests, the suspensions, the headlines that make you shake your head. Big names, bad calls. Here we go.
All right, we start with a name Sun Devil fans know well. James Harden got himself arrested in Houston last week, Saturday morning. Police pulled him over for traffic violation. According to the charging document, an officer spotted a handgun in plain view inside his vehicle. He was booked on a misdemeanor charge, unlawfully carrying a weapon. He was released on bond. But check the conditions. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs, a random urine test until this is resolved. So the Beard has a court date next week on Monday. And, of course, the Cavs say they're aware of the situation.
So
why do you need a gun?
I don't know, Rock. I don't get it.
In plain view.
I don't know what the law is there.
And wouldn't you, I don't know, wouldn't you, hide it or
concealed?
They said you have it concealed?
Well,
I don't know. Maybe you don't want to do
what
that.
most people do, they do put their weapon
glove box, or they got a holder in their car.
Sure. And then they've got the paper that says they're qualified for concealed weapon.
Why? I mean, it's not like he can't get a piece of paper.
Sure.
Texas, I don't know the Texas rule laws.
I don't know if it's open, openly to have the holster, the belt, as far as it being openly so people can see it. The other thing too, I'm just curious, does it say whether his license was suspended or had insurance?
That was it.
All right. That's enough.
All right, this one's kind of an old one, but it's pretty serious. To the NFL, a more serious one is Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper, one of their best pass rushers, led the team to sacks last year. He has now been arrested twice in the span of a week. So it started on June 4th with a domestic violence-related arrest after an alleged altercation. Both Cooper and the woman involved were arrested. He has pleaded not guilty. Then on June 11th, he was arrested again. New charges, including allegedly violating the protection order from the first arrest. Of course, the Broncos are disappointed. They're going to continue to review it, but his trial is expected to begin in late July. and we'll see how this legal process plays out. But this could be a problem for Denver.
Just amazing. You think guys would learn unless they try to get back together, but the precedent was already set. He had the restraining order, and to go back to it. I mean, I don't know what some of these guys are thinking. Allegedly, I mean, we got to keep it allegedly. So whether because she got arrested, you mentioned earlier, whether having a fight, whatever, but at some point, just back off, just chill, let this whole thing work itself out. Imagine a guy like Sean Payton. Here he is going, hey, got my team together. Went to the AFC final last year. Our quarterback was down. We're feeling pretty good about getting back to the AFC championship game again this year, right? And then you have your top linebacker, not once, but twice, get popped for domestic issue.
All right, here's one filed under. Maybe don't post the evidence yourself. Another ASU guy. A warrant was issued a couple weeks ago for Brandon Ayuk. Misdemeanor, exhibit of speeding is what they're calling it. And how they catch him, he posted on YouTube back in December. He's driving a Cadillac past the Niners stadium, doing over 100. And the DA's office saw it. Then there was a warrant. Of course, he did apologize after the fact. And I still haven't seen it. I don't know if it got
I haven't seen it either. I haven't seen it.
A little late on that one, Brandon. That's a dumbass move.
Yeah.
That would be our dumbass of the day.
Oh, absolutely. And why would you do what you hope be filming? You're speeding, going back and forth from in front of the 49ers complex. And was there a child in the car as well, too? I don't know if there was.
I don't know.
But I mean, that's one of those things that you kind of go, this kid, Roc, is lost. I don't know. He needs help. I mean, some of the things he said, some of the things he's done. So do you not want to play somewhere next year?
Yeah.
Is anyone going to pick this kid up with the mental issues he's going through right now?
And then one for the old school fans, former NFL star, Michigan State great, Andre Rison. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ with the Packers. He spent the weekend in Michigan jail, the 12th to the 14th. He was serving a 5-day sentence after pleading guilty to his second offense of DUI back in August of last year. He had 18 months of probation and a couple thousand in fines on top of it. I interned with the Indianapolis Colts. He was the first-round pick out of Michigan State for the Colts. So I got to meet him. One thing about Andre Rison, the training camp was at a school called Anderson, Indiana, right? And it was a little women's college, Anderson College or something like that. And after practice, they would all play hoops. And Andre Rison was an amazing basketball player.
He was a hooper.
Dunking on the guys, and he was a badass. You know, a lot of these guys are all really good athletes.
Sure.
Do stuff. You're really good at baseball, football, 2, 3, 4 sports. But, man, he rises. I always remember that. I just remember what a great player of a basketball player was. He was pretty good.
What little you saw him,
football player.
He
didn't play that long.
The issues he had throughout his entire life. I mean, in Atlanta, the issues he had with his wife. I remember when his house burned down. But, I mean, he's had so many issues over the years. And now, he's been out of football for probably, 15, 20 years.
It's been a while, yeah.
It just continues on. You just kind of go, wow, these guys can't get out of their own way. Or they haven't realized that, look, it's over. Move on. Go do something constructive with your life and go be a productive citizen. And when I see stuff like that, I go, oh, my gosh, the residue's still on Andre Rison with all the issues he had in the National Football League and even now post-National Football League. Just very, very sad.
Rashid Rice is a free man again. He was released from a Dallas County jail just 3 days ago after serving a 30-day sentence for a probation violation. If you remember, that probation goes back to a high-speed chase a couple years ago that injured several people. He pleaded guilty, failed a drug test this spring that sent him in to serve the time. He missed all of the offseason programs for the Chiefs. Andy Reid says he expects him to report on time for training camp at the end of the month or end of July. And this Chiefs team is trying to bounce back. Of course, they had 6-7 wins last year. I mean,
yeah, it struggled.
Yeah,
and so and again, there are a lot of rumors about they might pick up another receiver. Yeah, Randy Moss might be coming back out of retirement for this Chiefs team. But you know what? Some of these guys and Roc, we go through this every year. I think last year might have been the most quiet year that the police blotter was limited with a lot of NFL players that seemed well-behaved, but these domestic issues. I mean, you look at it's just over and over again. It just seems to be, unfortunately, an epidemic with a lot of these guys that if they're not occupied with their time, whether they're speeding, whether they're getting liquored up, or with their significant others, seems to be an issue that all those coaches that have these guys break before that 5 weeks before training camp just kind of hold their breath and are just hoping that none of their guys get in any kind of trouble.
So Wyndham Clark just lit up one of the toughest tests in golf, a record number through 36 at Shinnecock. While the biggest names in the game are all going home for the most part, they're packing their bags early. So what does this actually what does it actually take to win a U.S. Open? We're going to ask a guy who's done it. We're going to go back to 1996 Oakland Hills. Steve Jones qualifies his way in, then stares down Davis Love III and Tom Lehman on Sunday and walks off as a champion. Of course, he's a local guy. He's U.S. Open champ. He's going to join us next, and we will talk to him about this as well as get his thoughts on these live stars that are falling apart. He is part of the senior tour. And, of course, Radith Goosen came out earlier this week that he would like to see some of these players, be able to play in the PGA senior tour that played on live, because that tour, the senior tour, needs all the help they can get.
They need a little boost.
So
yeah, Champions Tour.
We'll do that after Laz hooks us up with another Twin Peaks ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. Wyndham Clark is in firm control early on at the U.S. Open after firing a 6-under round yesterday to build a 4-shot lead over the field, with Xander Schauffele and Matt Fitzpatrick among those tied for second at 3 under par. Meanwhile, Team USA punched its ticket to the knockout stage of the World Cup with a 2-0 victory over Australia, continuing its strong start to the tournament. And in the MLB, the D-backs open a 3-game series tonight against the Minnesota Twins, as Michael Soroka will get the start for Arizona with first pitch set for 6:45. You can catch all the action on our mothership station, 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This Father's Day, treat Dad to a place built for him. Twin Peaks. Sunday, June 21st, buy 6 wings and get 6 more free. And here's the move. If you buy Dad a man card now through June 21st, you'll also score a $5 bonus card to spend later this summer.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Celebrate Father's Day this year at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get Dad ready for the course with tailor-made TP5 golf balls. Buy 2 dozen TP5 or TP5X golf balls for $100. Need more ideas this Father's Day? We have gift cards in any amount, plus our online gift guide at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Sleep isn't just rest, it's restoration. Poor sleep can increase your risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night helps your brain clear toxins and stay sharp. Research shows that up to 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed by addressing risk factors, including lack of sleep. Tonight, give your brain the rest it deserves. Learn more at alz.org/healthy habits. This message is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association and the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Living and having fun in the hot summer sun can turn deadly when mixed with stimulants. Stimulant drugs raise body temperature, impair the brain's ability to regulate heat, and makes it harder for the heart to cope with extreme heat. Studies show 1 in 5 heat-related deaths have involved meth, a stimulant that overheats the body, putting users at higher risk. Be aware and stay safe. Meth and heat is a deadly mix. Visit thenewmeth.com.
Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, about 20 years ago, our next guest won the U.S. Open and qualified, and then went in and took care of business and stared down Tom Lehman and Davis Love III to win the U.S. Open. Of course, the champion Steve Jones joins us here on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, ESPN Radio Phoenix. How's the North up there, Steve? Rub it in for just 30 seconds. Just rub it in.
Yeah, thanks for the photo, Steve. Way to rub it in there, buddy.
Yeah, well, it's pretty nice. It's the temperature the year I graduated high school, 77.
Yeah. We're only 40 degrees.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
I'll be
So
back
do you guys?
tomorrow in it. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Do you guys you got TV and water and electricity up there, right? You're not like some little cabin. You got a bunch of Coors Banquet beers with you. I mean, or you got the Busch Light going. I mean, what's going on up there?
Well, I just played a golf course that isn't really open yet, but he'll played 17 holes of it over there by the Big Hole River. Pretty cool little linksy course, and they don't have anything out there hardly. So it was fun to play it, but I wanted to fish the big hole, but I have to get back up to Bozeman so I can fly out in the morning.
And probably get his phone service to be able to call us, right? That was probably why. I mean, that's the real reason.
Yeah, well, I was out here at Twin Bridges, but I don't know how long it'll last. It should be okay for a while.
So, Steve, Wyndham Clark, guys, you were playing golf. You saw what he did yesterday, and it set a 36-hole scoring record there at the Shinnecock Hills, and that's a pretty big deal, 37 under now. But, what does it take to keep that momentum? I mean, he's up by, 5 strokes? I mean, that's a lot heading into Saturday. 4 strokes, excuse me. What kind of advice do you give someone like that? He's won it already, so he's not going to be quite as nervous. But what advice do you give a guy to kind of keep it going?
Yeah, I mean, especially on Saturday, I think he's got to put the pedal to the metal and keep going because, maybe not take really big risks because you don't want to do something like Dustin Johnson did. Just don't want big numbers. So try to stay away from the doubles and triples. And, if he can shoot, who knows, even par on the weekend might do it. Or, I don't know, it depends on the conditions of the greens and it depends on the wind, what's going on. But he finished this morning, right? Or he played in the morning?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because he got the better conditions, I think, than Scheffler's group. They kind of got the raw deal playing early yesterday and with all the wind and then kind of laid down a little in the afternoon.
Yeah, what he said is that today, since he played late, he said it was a quick turnaround. He said he felt like a zombie, and he said, but the thing was he was loose, he was relaxed, didn't get much sleep. But Steve, does that benefit a guy sometimes? Hey, you played late in the afternoon, the first round, got to get going. You're kind of in the groove, and to your point, he didn't have a lot of wind yesterday afternoon, and he didn't have much wind this morning at all. The gusts were 9 miles an hour to about 10 miles an hour the entire morning.
Yeah, now he's got to wait whatever it is, day and a half or whatever it is, 20 hours. I can't count but the longer he finished, whatever he finished around 1 or whatever, and got to play on to basically 24, 25 hours. He's got to wait, so it's a bigger wait. I think it is quicker to have that quick turnaround. It's kind of nice. You don't have to think about it. You don't have time to think about it. So I think that'll work out good.
Have you watched Wyndham Clark much this year? I've watched him several times, and he was leading the Palmer, and I know the other kid came back and won at the lefty, but I've watched him a couple terms where he's won. He's got to be right now, I would think, he and Scheffler, the hottest golfer on the tour this year. What is it about his game that's starting to kick in for him?
Yeah, I mean, he when he gets it going, it seems like he keeps going really well, like he did in Dallas. Played really well, and I think he makes a lot more putts than people realize. So his putter gets going. Anybody that gets putting good is going to be deadly. But he's got a good putting stroke. He hits the ball great. So everything's new in his life. It seems like, and he's got things going the right direction.
Do you feel that the USGA will look at this -7 and going not on this course, and maybe not water the greens as much? The winds are not as bad as yesterday, but do you think they might trick this bad boy up a little bit for the weekend?
Yeah, I don't even think they have to trick it up that much. Just don't put so much water on them, and let's see what happens for one day. That would be fun.
No, not only be fun, but and you mentioned Clark has been like shooting darts at these pins, Steve. I mean, it's been interesting. He's 10 feet, 12 feet. His second shot in, they said, is one of the highest averages in U.S. Open, as Roc alluded to. Best round for 36 holes at Shinnecock. Is it really all about on that course, that type of course, the links course, the second and third shots in?
Yeah, I mean, if you can fly wedges and back them up and 5 irons are stopping, I mean, what a big advantage, and he hits the ball good and hits it long, and what are you going to do? I mean, if the greens are soft, there's no defense. You've got to have the greens firmer so they roll 20, 30 feet at least. We played a lot of U.S. Opens. The wedge rolls 30 feet, 40 feet. Try to hit a 5 iron in there, you're going to land short of the green, because it's going to roll 60, 70 feet. So, yeah, it just, those types of conditions, they had to be careful. Everybody was watching them, so they didn't want to make everybody mad. And they maybe watered them a little too much, but they can take it off tonight, and let's see what happens tomorrow.
Some earlier news in the week, Retief Goosen was talking a little bit about the age limits, and when it comes to on the tour that you're on, the Champions Tour. Are you okay with the number, the age, and then what's your thoughts on some of the live guys coming over?
Yeah, so Perez, he's coming over. I talked to him 3 months ago, and he's looking forward to that.
Good.
I think if they're eligible, there's got to be some probably restitution or something they got to do. To get a guy back out. You can't just start the tour and be exempt, and because they took off and left the tour. But yeah, 50 years old. I think that everything's working good there. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they're talking about with the live guys, but I know that Perez is definitely going to be out there pretty quick here.
Good.
I was going to say, to that point, Tiger's back home now. They were talking a little earlier about Tiger Woods and the Champions Tour. When he gets there, Phil Mickelson got some issues and woes going on right now. Besides a Steve Jones and a Tom Lehman on that Champions Tour, how much more juice does it need in order to get more eyeballs on it? Or does it need a Woods when he's eligible? Does it need Phil back out there, et cetera, Steve?
Tiger's 50.
Is he 50? So
yeah.
He's eligible.
Yeah, he turned 50 in December. And, I thought I was going to be playing with him at the Regions tournament this year, and till that hiccup. But I mean, it would be great if Tiger could come out and play 4 or 5 tournaments, even if it's just the majors. But yeah, I mean, it just doesn't hurt. The bigger names, the better.
Steve, do you think he can move the purses if Tiger's there? I mean, will it be an instant increase in the purse?
Uh-oh.
I think we lost.
Yeah.
Still got you, Steve?
There
You
we
still
go.
there?
There we go.
There we go.
I went around the
question.
corner.
You're fine. The last one. Question was, if Tiger did play on a championship tour, you think it would be an instant increase in the purses each week, or at least when he plays?
No, those purses are hard to they're hard to increase right away that quick. He would have to be a little more dedicated, maybe, if he was going to play 15 events or something. But I don't think he's going to play that many. The majors might spice it up a little bit, but they're kind of waiting to see what he does. And so far, he hasn't been out there. So I hope he gets healthy, comes back out. Yeah, let's get that thing cranking.
Yeah, that would be great. All right, well, safe travels back to warm Phoenix, Arizona, where it's currently 110, but there's not a cloud in the sky, so it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So we'll see you when you get back here.
I appreciate it, guys. Keep up the good work. It'll be a fun watch for the
Yeah,
weekend.
it should. Oh yeah, totally. Let's hope so. That's Steve Jones, U.S. Open champion. What, 1996?
1996.
Wow,
Absolutely.
20 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
I said 20 earlier.
I thought you said
I said 20. I think
Yeah,
I said
30.
20. Oh man, I'm just get mixed up when I get into
That's
2000s.
okay. Carry the one. It's
30 years ago.
30 years. I mean, what a great match that was. He and Tom Lehman and Davis Love coming down the last 5 holes, and he beats those guys by 1 because Davis Love and Tom tied for second. And then great year for Lehman. Lehman goes on to win the British Open that year, and he was also in the hunt for the Masters. But to your point, that's right. Steve qualified for that Open, and he just kicked in the last 6 or 7 holes to cruise for a 1-stroke victory.
Hey, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question today, which can be found on our Twitter page, X, everything at Roc and Manuch. When in their prime, very important, which of these golfers would you choose to play a hole, the last hole of the last day at a U.S. Open to win it all? So in other words, it's coming down to probably a playoff of some sort. Who would that be? Your choices are Tiger, Jack, Hogan, or Player. I clearly go with Tiger.
Tiger.
It's hard. I mean, it's I didn't even want to take.
Yeah.
But man, just because I watched more Tiger than anybody else.
Yeah, I'm leaning more toward Nicklaus. Maybe it's because you see how many tournaments he lost by 1, and then coming down the wire, somebody more determined. But a lot of folks forget that Ben Hogan and Bjorn Player both won 3. They won 3 U.S. Opens. So you sit there and go, wow. But I'm leaning toward Nicklaus. But would that be great to see both of them in their prime? To go to a playoff. U.S. Opens is an entire 18 holes. So to see those guys tie and then play, or all 4 of them. Imagine all 4 of them.
Couldn't they create I'm so into AI, and many of you are. Couldn't they create some kind of virtual AI deal where you get those 4 golfers in their prime, put them in some kind of
that'd be great.
Some kind of deal. I don't know. I don't. You put it in a package, and all of a sudden it's a half-hour show, or I don't know. AI can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, AI can do just about anything.
Well, they did it for Super Bowls. I remember years ago they would plug the teams together and they'd have a computer do that. But I would do this. I'd say, okay, Shinnecock or Oakland Hills where Steve won his, and then just throw it in the blender and see who comes out. That'd be a lot of fun.
I could see AI doing it. I think it would be just you get the 4 best golfers in the world and in their prime, and you put them out there, and it's just this. Oh, because you don't even know what's real anymore when you're on social or you're on the internet. You can't tell.
Maybe we do it the break here, Rock, as we throw in those 4 names. Who would win the U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills if these 4 golfers were playing or something like that, and see what AI has to say? Be very interested to see who would be the winner and see what they would come out with, because that would be very. I mean, now you got the juices spinning here that AI can look at those 4 outstanding careers.
I want to see it though.
Oh, I do too.
I
would too.
That would be kind of cool. The more of the visual. I think most of us guys we like the visual thing, and I think that would.
Hey,
be
if AI
cool.
can make movies already and get women singing that aren't actually alive, they could do this.
I mean, I don't think this would be that hard to do. I really don't. I think they could probably figure it out. And you wonder, so I use Claude. A lot of people use Claude. A lot of people use Chat. I use them both. But just in that 15 seconds, I put it in, and it said Ben Hogan is the purest answer. A U.S. Open is fundamentally a ball striking test, narrow fairways, brutal rough. You flush out the pressure, all that stuff. Nobody in history struck it cleaner or with more ice in their veins than Hogan. 4 U.S. Opens. That's interesting. They had Jack next, and it says Jack Nicklaus. He would not beat himself, or he would not beat himself. Pick 4 U.S. Opens. Gary Player, the grinder, and Tiger is the closer. So you get all 4 of them, and then it basically kind of put it in a blender, and it said their pick. So Claude's pick for 1 hole, 1 shot, win or go home, with the whole world watching. It's Tiger.
Oh man, yeah, can't go wrong there. I just love that deducted all of that.
Oh, there's one too. I only gave you. I gave 10%.
I know.
All right, we'll have our learner row. 1 call. That's all. It has to do with Scott Spreitzer. He talks about what the World Cup means to soccer in America. It's next.
That's it.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more. There's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Think you can handle a few drinks and still drive safely? Think again. Buzzed driving is drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving. Even one drink can cost you thousands in fines and legal fees. Plus, take away your driver's license. So plan ahead. Use a designated driver or rideshare. Get the facts at drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata, and you're invited to the 12th annual Walk with Enoch, a fun-filled event led by my friend Enoch, a 14-year-old boy who lives with autism. Join us June 27th from 9 to 1 p.m. at the Ability 360 indoor track. You'll help special needs families find rest and renewal at our Johnny and Friends family retreats. Come walk with us. Visit johnnyandfriends.org/walk for details.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
I'm not so sure. You know, it's
we're talking World Cup, and I kind of use that as the example. Is I think it's one of those things where it's got its niche followers, and just like soccer, and every year we hear, oh, the World Cup's here, and this is going to spark interest in USA soccer or soccer in general in the USA, not just Team USA, and it kind of does, but it's not overwhelming. And I think that's the same thing with UFC. They might gain a few new followers, but I'm not sure it's going to be, a huge dent in the, with the rest of the sports. I still think it's going to be a niche sport for as long as it's around.
Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. Follow him at Scott Wins. He's our handicapper, comes on every Friday at 2:30. Has been for about 20 years, so appreciate him. Giving a little, being a little analysis on the World Cup.
Yeah. It's interesting because you were talking about the TV numbers are off the charts, but still it's somewhat that niche sport in America, and it's like, wow, if so many people love watching it, why don't we have more of our youngsters that are really, really outstanding athletes play soccer? And I just think that in the States it's so much more bombardment with football and basketball and baseball, specifically football, that a lot of those youngsters that are really good athletes, they tend to gravitate more toward football. But, it is, the sport of soccer is growing. It's just a matter of being able to compete, because so many of our top soccer stars do go overseas to play. We had Rob Yala on the other day talking about, all the things he's doing at Gemini, and his son, who played at Notre Dame High School, excuse me, he went over to Europe to play, and he's over there developing right now. We lose so many of them to other countries, and they develop over there. Well, our guys all go to football. So it's just interesting, that dichotomy.
Yeah, our learner row one call is, again, Scott Spreitzer. So if you've ever been injured in an accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Learner row has been voted Arizona's best personal injury law firm year after year after year. So if you've been in a wreck and you need a check, make one call. That's all, 602-977-1900. All right, here we are on the June 19th, the holiday, and we will have on the sister station, the mothership, that being Arizona Sports, coming up 6 o'clock, D-backs pregame. These guys are all off today, aren't they?
Yeah, they all are. Nobody over at the station except for Laz.
Quiet around here, guys.
Man, it's like I was like talking to you, like, yeah, I'm off on Friday. I'm like, okay.
It's Juneteenth, Roc. It's Juneteenth.
It's like, all right. Then we can't get the day off after Super Bowl. Just kidding.
That'd be a hell of a trade-off.
Different, yeah. Tomorrow, we will have Brewers and Braves here on ESPN Radio 620, and then Sunday, it'll be Mets and Phillies at 3:30. So we have that, and of course, 98.7 will have the Twins and D-backs throughout the weekend. So that is brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official partner of Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B at all 5 Twin Peaks locations. As you missed anything, hopefully you've downloaded the Arizona Sports app or you checked us out on YouTube. But it's some interesting discussions today. One being NFL comeback player. If you could pick one player that you'd like to see play for your team or a team, who would it be? That was a pretty fun discussion. And then if baseball decides to blow up realignment, what does that mean? And then the last topic that I think got some legs is Devin Booker getting rid of his number 1 and moving to number 15.
And you had
and Mark Williams says number 15.
Yes. See,
so that just tells me that Mark Williams is out.
That's
what's he? I think he's an unrestricted free agent. So see ya.
Yeah. That's.
And I don't know what you're defending. I mean, there's other guys out there that can do more than.
Yeah, I think
they need a big center. Let's go after
Giannis. He's a big. Well, do you think they would go after Giannis?
You know, some of these pundits out there are saying there's a team or two that you're going to least expect. Why can't we dream?
I would have no problem going after Giannis.
Oh, nobody would.
I mean, he was a little banged up last year, but I mean, he's still one of the best in the National Basketball Association.
You don't need to see National Basketball Association.
NBA,
thank you.
The association, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just like, I've been following this team. I've been a fan for 58 years. 58 years. I would love to see.
Now you got to buy a new jersey.
Yeah, I'd love to see this team in the next few years, I hope, that can win an NBA title. Well, and you
get playoffs. Don't be so greedy. Let's get out of the first round.
Okay, but I can dream.
As Suns fans, get out of the first round.
So we see this is the 8th team, the Knicks, that have won the NBA title 8 years in a row. We had a different team.
How would you do the parade?
Oh, I do it just downtown in front of the arena.
In 110?
Well, you know,
I mean, how would you do the parade?
You know what?
You can't. People will be falling over.
Could you do a night parade? Would a night parade be okay? It's Arizona.
They have to get really creative.
Or maybe what you do, instead of doing a parade, hopefully you
got to do a parade.
Okay, you do a parade, but you funnel it all into Chase Field. The D-backs aren't playing. Funnel it there. Pick a spot. The D-backs out of town. And then everybody can go there.
Where, like, you can 40,000 people instead of millions?
That's true.
You got to do something for the masses.
Yeah, you do. Because there might be close to a million
But
people.
110 degrees
That's
parade.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we need to deploy 10,000 police officers like New York had.
They had 2 million people down there.
Is that what the number was?
2
How do they figure that
million.
out?
Well, they could tell because of where they were scattered all over the place. And the most,
Somebody's got like a clicker, when
Yeah.
you're walking into a stadium.
they had people sitting on rooftops half a mile away watching these guys come through that parade.
Well, they do. There's some formula they use for parking and everything else. Like that's how they don't give us the numbers for the waste management things open anymore.
Yeah.
The fire department flies over and they do some formula and that's how they.
Well,
figure
whether
it
he's
out.
winning-
They don't go public with it anymore.
Whether it's 1 or 15, can Booker finally win us a championship?
Well, if he's wearing
I hope.
15, maybe.
Hey, happy Father's Day to all those
Yes.
dads that are out there.
Absolutely. For Laz, great job this week. For Jimmy B as well. I'll be back on Monday with you. Jimmy's off on Monday. But it's not